Hello, welcome in everybody. Let me change the scene right quick. Let's go over here for a second. I want to show off my own Stompa war boss over here. He's gonna be cheering me on throughout this holy mission. But before we go any further, I do want to mention that the intro songs were Teflon by Rakufud, Rusty Awakening by the same very talented individual, and lastly, my first metal attempt by, once again, Rakufud, which I feel kind of redundant to say every time, but hey man, I do want to get those shout-outs out, because I do love his stuff, even if he hasn't been particularly active since, like, the early 2010s, I guess, but you never know, maybe he'll come back one day and grace us with his presence. Let me start up the game in the meantime. While we're here, you can keep looking at my glorious Stompa Warboss over there. You can barely see it, but there is an actual Warboss up top here. Let me show you. Let me show you the little guy here. You see? He's the Warboss, and that's the Stompa. That's like a Pokemon fusion thing. You know, when you put him up top here, you could refer to him as a Stompa Warboss. He doesn't really have like a set place to stand on. He just kind of, I left like a little spot for him basically. But there we go. Once I get into the game, I'll obviously switch the scene, but for now I feel like this works for the time being. And yeah, we're going to be doing a fourth, potentially final single-player playthrough of Shootas, Blood, and Teef. So this is the manyth time that we are playing through this game. And I've enjoyed all of the playthroughs so far, and I'm very much looking forward to the Beast-snagga boy. I'm not a big fan of the Beast-snagga concept so much. I don't think they look bad. They're relatively new models. They're like, what, 1 or 2 years old? Let me switch on over here. And then I go over here so that we'll see the menu. There we go. And you can clearly see that I'm also looking at the menu because, once you know it, it's very nice, bright, and red. Apparently the menu music is actually randomized, which is kind of sweet too. But yeah, we're going to do a new game. I'm still going to stick to normal because I don't really feel like doing anything else. But yeah, the Beast-snagga boy. Now we want a different hat for the Beast-snagga for sure. What's the beastiest hat that you got, man? That's more like emo. Helmet is not particularly... Oh, I kind of like the welding mask. I think we might go with the welding mask. Oh, you know what? No. I mean, if we're a Beast-snagga, we gotta rep the squig. Give me that squig, buddy. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I like the looted plasma pistol. Bolta is apparently really good, so I think we're gonna keep that. I love the shotgun more than words can describe. We apparently don't really have a reason not to use the homing rocket launcher. And I mean, I've just been stuck on the burner, even though we've barely ever, like, busted out, but that's okay. And I am going to maybe anger my little cheerleading warboss in the back here, because I'm about to change my clan to... Do they have snake bites? Or did they forget to put the snake bites in here? Dude, did they forget to put the snake bites in here? You got Bad Moons, you got Goths, you got Death Skulls, you got Evil Sons, and then Bad Moons back again. They don't have snake bites in here. My lord. That's a little rude. I mean, in that case, I'm gonna stay at Death Skull, obviously, because it's what I like the most. But it is kind of silly that they don't have the snake bites. Like that's traditionally the Beast-snagga pairing. You know, you go with the traditionalist orcs. I think we're good. Let's get in there. Let's watch the intro cutscene for the 4th time. I still like it even after all the times I've witnessed it. So let's just do that. That's a good wah right there. Gotta respect it.
War Gutswrecker is the meanest, greenest, and fightiest war in the whole of the galaxy. That's the truth. And it's led by the flashiest, shootiest, tittiest git, Ogric Gutswrecker. He's the boss, the best, the baddest. Now he's here to crunch some units before they all run away. Whoa! The Humies call this place Lutius. Lutius. Stupid name, stupid Humies. The Humies been drilling for the gold juice here for ages, pumping it out, sticking it in their battle wagons to make them go through. Now we want it for our wagons. Make them go through instead. The Imperial Room is giving us a right fight, but they ain't stopping war, Gutswrecker. Oh no. We's gotta take the loot out of Lucius, cause we's the biggest, the bestest war around.
The voice acting is just so impressive still. It's so orky.
Eat DAKKA, puny Yumis! Wah! You's having fun there, Carcass, me old mate. Yeah, boss, yeah. Wah! That there hair squid is snazzy, ain't it, Carcass? I reckon it'd look more snazzy on my head. Huh? What you doing? What you doing? I's the boss, so I get the snazziest things. You, I'm having this. Whoa! You thieving git!
Still cracks me up. That's the way you kick off the plot. Your fucking hair gets stolen. Okay, I like the little squig head that we have. It's very cute. I must protect it. Oh, what's our weapon? Oh, that actually, like, has a delayed explosion, huh? What makes it explode instantly sometimes? And not other times? Oh, you have, like, a ranged melee. That's kind of sick with it. That's, like, an extra weapon, bro. That's nice. Can I embed it into people? No, but it's still pretty decent, though. Oh, it does have self-damage though, which is something that I didn't take into account. I probably should have noticed that, to be honest with you, but I was having a lot of fun. Maybe this will not be the best character. Maybe it's a bad thing that we left it till last. Oh, and it doesn't, like, appear to deal that much damage. It still takes, like, a 2-shot to kill basic enemies. That's not ideal. It's gonna be weird having to be careful about, you know, shooting the vent covers now.
Stick bomb time.
It do be bouncing, like, quite a bit, which is kind of neat. I feel like this is the skill, you know, character in this game, as odd as it sounds. I guess if we like would embed it, maybe with the bosses you do get the embedding. I'm still like so scared, too scared to actually like use it in melee situations. I guess you can just like, you know, chuck it at people and be fine.
Take it down.
Yeah, I mean you got like a pretty fast speed on it. Like attack speed is pretty decent. It's just the self damage is a right shame. I feel like we got that guy though, not the other one, but. I guess the Gretchen are like a one-hit kill with this. Why is the same, I assume. It's kind of weird that you can't like melee in the WoW with this guy. This is like the one character where I feel like that would be useful / potentially important. And I really wish you could like stick it into people, you know? Like just actually get it in him and just have the explosion go from there. That would be neat. Maybe with the bosses it will work that way. I kind of doubt it though, to be honest. But if it does, then there's going to be a little bit of a difference, you know, between this character and everybody else. Maybe this is like the ideal character against bosses. Well, for this we're going to have to trigger the Y, I think. Maybe we don't have to, but you know, the game tells me to do it. That's my excuse. But anyway, I hope all of you are doing very, very well. I had a nice little day. I'm hoping that my throat is going to hold up a lot better than yesterday. I kind of went a little extra with that. Like, I made sure that I'm going to be in the best possible shape to stream. Because I had, like, a supersize amount of soup, basically. I'm a soup man. I love me some soup. I had some wonderful, wonderful tomato soup, leftovers from the weekend, and It could have been 2 portions. It easily could have been 2 portions, but I just said, you know what? Nah. This is like 1 portion. It's 1 giga portion, but 1 portion nonetheless. Apparently the explosion doesn't deal that much damage. Like, to the enemies. To me, it's relatively dangerous. I'm kind of thinking maybe with this character, we do want to change the Burna to an actual melee weapon. Oh, we haven't unlocked the mech shock yet, of course, of course. That's like the one thing that we're kind of tied to. I mean, I'm just honestly gonna farm as many kills with this as possible because I think there's an achievement for killing dudes with this too. It's kind of interesting that you could probably do the whole game with just the rocket spear that you get here. And I mean, it's kind of fun. It works relatively decently. You do have to have some aim with it, which is maybe a little bit counterintuitive for an orc weapon. What's the grenade like? Oh, it's a fucking like bomb squig. When does it explode? Does it not explode? I guess maybe if they kill it, it explodes. That's really, really good, actually. And it's very fun. Normally, tank busters would be the ones to have the bomb squigs, but I'm not gonna complain, bro. It's kind of awesome that they put him in the game in the first place. And I think it goes really, really well with my squig hat, so that's something. Plus, squigs are just great, man. I love squigs. I actually have a squig army started in AOS, but still need to paint some stuff. I don't know if anybody remembers, but a couple of years ago, when Gloomspite Gits originally came out, they released some quote-unquote dice, and I use the term loosely, because they were essentially rubber cubes that had like the features of a squig, and they were really bouncy, to the point that using them as actual dice is ridiculous. And I say this as someone, like, you have to understand, I'm not your average normal person, because I actually use the GW dice as dice for the most part. In other cases, like the really messed up, weird sized, just completely illegible dice, if I get a chance to use that in friendly games, I always try to use them. And in tournaments, I take the sets with me, despite the fact that most people won't really let you use them. I never hold it against people, though, because to be honest, I always ask, like, hey, are you cool with me using this? Or do you want to be able to, like, tell what I'm throwing at a glance? And obviously, people tend to go with the latter, so in that case, I have, like, another set of dice with me that's just really simple, just pips on it, basically. But either way, so that dice set, despite the fact that I'm a degenerate and I really like weird GW dice sets, let me, like, do something real quick, though, with the audio options. I just remembered I wanted to lower this a little bit, because I think I was checking one of the VODs earlier, and sometimes it got a little loud. But either way, despite the fact that I normally really, really like the GW dice sets, I ended up not liking that, because it was impossible to fucking do anything with them. Yeah, I'm thinking we'll go for the kill saw, because we need an actual melee weapon. And I guess we could do, like, a pretty cool, you know, chucking spears, kill sawing things playthrough for the most part. For the bosses, we might have to just stick to the spears, but we'll see. We'll see either way. But yeah, so I basically bought a lot of those dice, because the other thing is, with Gloomspite Gits, you know, they're goblins, basically. If you're not, like, super into Warhammer, they're like that little guy that I just killed. They're just like, these guys are space goblins. You got regular goblins in Age of Sigmar, because that's a fantasy game. And they're pretty sweet, but they have to roll a lot of dice. Like, you have 60 goblins in a unit, and that's considered, like, fairly normal. In fact, if you can pull it off, you want to have at least like that, whenever possible, basically. So that means you're throwing a ton of dice, because those dice can attack, like, once for sure. They can be given spears, so they can attack in multiple ranks, and then you can, like, buff them all the way to hell to get, like, 3 attacks per guy. So suddenly you're attacking like 180 times, which is just nasty. Of course, the stats are awful. You're never fucking hitting anything, and you're barely wounding anything, but, I mean, you're throwing so many dice that it doesn't matter, because in the grand scheme of things, over time, you're gonna deal a ton of damage, is basically the idea. I gotta say, like, now that I figured out how the spear works, it's a lot of fun to use. It's like an extra gun. It's actually an extra gun, and it doesn't need ammo. It might be the strongest thing in terms of melee. I wish you could use it with the wand, but, you know, you can't always get what you want, I guess. But I got, like, 80 of those dice, foolishly, without ever looking anything up about it. And, obviously, as I mentioned, they're basically impossible to use as regular dice. You have, like, no chance of doing anything with them. So what I ended up doing instead, over quarantine, I basically, you know, just looked at it and was like, well, I got like 80 of this. What could I actually use it for? And the thing is, they're like, you know, fairly irregular shaped. In fact, they're completely irregular shaped. They're like cubes. But I figured what I could do with them, and it would be pretty sweet, is to actually like turn them into proper squigs. Now, unfortunately, you don't have like units of squigs in 40k. You could use them, and I actually will, but I'll get to that in like a moment. But what I'm planning on doing, well, what I ended up doing with them is actually, like, putting them all on tiny, tiny bases, just 25mm bases, the smallest, I believe, that you get. It's kind of nice that this thing bounces, too. I mean, I keep interrupting and stun-locking myself, but... So, you know what? Let's just throw one of those down. Let's have it have some fun. But yeah, I ended up basically turning the 80 dice into 80 miniatures. Apparently there was some Teef up there, which I never noticed somehow. But essentially what happened was, I had like a ton of fun just doing that. And I painted all of that, I think in like, not one session, but I basically batch painted all of them. So that's actually the start of my Age of Sigmar, like, Gloomspite Gits Squig army. I'm just now realizing, by the way, and I think it's kind of sad that I'm just now realizing this, that this is actually also the final level. It's just that this thing, I think, gets crushed because this is where the Stompa is. Don't worry about me, bro. It only took me, like, 9 hours to figure that out. This is only playthrough number 4. Like, what do you expect from me? To pay attention to this game? Are you insane? But yeah, I do love them squigs. And I think I mentioned it in a previous stream, but if you're new around these parts, then you might not know, obviously. And I'm never gonna hold that against you, bro. Like, I'm barely a streamer as it is, so I'm a nobody. But that's okay, you know, lessened expectations is one positive side to that. But I believe I have mentioned it, that for my 40k army, as you can see, I do play orcs. I do have an orc army, and it's a lot of fun. It was, I think, my second army in, like, Warhammer, basically. My first was actually orcs and goblins in fantasy, but then, you know, they turned into Gloomspite Gits a long, long time after. And to be honest, I'm one of those weirdos that doesn't mind it so much. I'm actually a big fan of Age of Sigmar. Either way, I painted the goblins, and then I have the orcs, but unfortunately with the orcs, I never got, like, a good work ethic to work on them. So, for the most part, I still have a ton of stuff unpainted, even though some of it I customized to look really cool. And so, right now what I'm thinking about, what I've been thinking about for, I think actually 2 years now, is to make, like, a themed army that's all goblins. Yeah, we might have to do, like, a quick little wah here. I can't believe we didn't, like, set that off with a giant, like, kill saw in our hands, but I'm kind of happy that we didn't. Could have been even more dangerous than it ended up being. I need to remember my grenades, too. So I'm planning on doing what is kind of like a Gretchen revolution for my orc army and converting everything back into Gretchen. I already have 2 of the red Gobbo minis that kind of look like they're commissars. You know what? We can... Did we throw a grenade? No, we didn't. But we threw one now. The thing doesn't have, like, too much health, but it does explode when it gets killed, so that's kind of neat, actually. Kind of a buff, actually, because we want it to explode more than anything. So my plan for the long term is to, like, basically redo my whole entire army, but turn it into an even cooler army, and absolutely, like, fully customize everything. But I still want to have access to the whole codex, because otherwise you'd be stuck with, essentially, like, mech guns, Gretchen, and, like, maybe, like, you'd have Makari, perhaps Runt herds if you really wanted to, but that's kind of pushing it, right? Because they're not really, like, Gretchens themselves. So I've been thinking, how do I get that, by the way? And why didn't I get that before? Apparently I missed, like, some random-ass teeth. Dude, I'm kind of loving the Beast-snagga right now. Hey, can I get my weapon back? I was gonna call it a gun, but this doesn't actually shoot. It just, like, spins. My man just jumped into it. He didn't want to live on this planet anymore. But over time, I want to create, like, a really, really cool, customized army, basically. My you know, initial orc army was also fairly customized. I tried to modify everything, basically, to make it even cooler. And I think that's a nice thing to do with orcs. I mean, you know, you kind of have to. They make a lot of weird guns and shit. That's kind of what, like, half the orcish culture is about. But I haven't gotten around to it yet. I keep jumping into other projects. And whose fault is that? Absolutely mine, in case you were wondering. Oh, we're already at the fucking Goth Rocker concert, man. We're just fucking blitzing through this. I am going to immediately, like kill the barrels. And by kill, I mean explode. Because again, I just, you know, got like a huge amount of damage dealt to me. Because it's hard to pay attention to everything. I also believe we should absolutely drop a bomb squig. We already got the Beast-snagga. I believe that's like 100 kills. I mean, we have been just like spamming the spear. I'm gonna like try to use the spear as long as possible though, because it's actually a lot of fun. You do need like a couple hits to bring even the basic enemies down, but it's very satisfying when you do nail them. And I think it does pierce, which is kind of nice as well. Although from the looks of it, it loses some damage when it pierces. I mean, you know, if you kite, it works pretty well. I don't think we can, like, yeah, like, we also just pierce through this guy. Although it deals, like, a fair bit of damage, doesn't it, man? Interesting. I would have thought that it deals less damage than that. But I guess, you know, the boss health bars, like, put it into perspective. He just killed his own Gretchen. How extremely rude. You see, this is why I'm starting the revolution, man. Don't you know they're talking about a revolution? Are we just, like, missing that Gretchen? I think we were, because that's the only possible explanation. Usually they die in, like, one hit from this thing. Yeah, if you, like, hit them dead on, they're just dead, basically, immediately. Where is my man? I'm losing track of him. I'm too busy chucking stuff. I kind of want to see the bomb squig, like, damage as well. I mean, against the bosses, it's not that amazing. I feel like that's more of a potential crowd control weapon, you know? Because, like, you throw, like, a couple spears and you have even more damage, basically. I think we got him on fire there with the spear, which is interesting, if that's, like, actually something that can happen.
Listen up! I beat your boss fair and square. You is my boys now. There's a thieving git called Gut-wrecker what stole something off me. Who wants a scrap to help me get it back? We needs to find a way off this soggy planet and onto Gut-wrecker's ship. And it's that way. Where the Yumis are flying away. What do you say, boys? To the Yumi shags! Let's get crumpy! This is it, boys! Drop the gates!
I just love all the little attention to detail that they have with the fungus, like, mom tattoos on the shoulders. They have, like, a banner wave there in the crowd as well, which is kind of interesting because I'm pretty sure they made that, like, exclusively for this particular scene, because I don't think you encounter them anywhere in, like, the actual game, which is kind of surprising. I mean, you know, that's one of those kind of cool things about it. You would think any developer would want to, like, you know, if you make something, if you make, like, a texture for that, you would want it to be seen by the players. And I guess, you know, they get to see it in a cutscene, but we can use this to trigger the mines, which is kind of neat. I'm into it. Yeah, I'm gonna wait a second, because that was about to be bombed. Okay, so the officers, like, also die fairly easy. Interesting. Hey, can I, like, chuck this in there? Oh, I absolutely can. Man, that's kind of nice. Oh, that's not nice at all, though. Yeah, the self-damage does mean I gotta think twice about where I'm throwing this shit. Okay, this is, like, actually really good against the mines. I guess at the same time, like, normally, you know, you don't really have, like, ammo concerns. There's, like, yeah, there's an officer dude in there, but I'm pretty sure we just, like, tagged him. It's kind of, like, kind of insane to imagine. I'm just a lone orc with, like, infinite rocket spears chucking into people. Just like, yeah, get tagged. Oh, yeah, we'll, apparently we're doing, like, something of a melee-only playthrough. This thing, like, does overheat, which is something to keep in mind. Although, if we wad, then that's not really a problem. Okay, I mean, that went really well. Plus, we can, you know, get the grenade back immediately. And I thought that there was maybe some health as well, but... Oh, you're not in the AoE. Maybe you'll get into the AoE. You know, like, you can kind of double tap with it, which is neat. I was gonna say, please don't throw a grenade. Do you think this has, like, a headshot damage multiplier? Because previously, we killed one of those in just, like, 2 hits. I wonder if that's, like, a thing in this game. Gotta be careful, though, because I'm pretty sure there's a wave spawning behind us right here. Yep. I mean, we can just kill saw it up, dude, with the best of them. Nice. I love the music so much in this game. They absolutely nailed it. I'm actually really enjoying the fact that we're kind of, like, doing what might be considered this game's version of, like, a melee-only playthrough, you know? I just really like focusing on melee in any game that I play. It's kind of my main thing. If not melee, because some games obviously don't have, like, a melee weapon, then I really like using the short-range stuff. But usually more so the unconventional things. Hey, what if I gave you a bomb squig? That, like, it went through the shield instantly, man. That's nice. All the boys are dead, but, you know, the commissar is gone as well, so I see this as an absolute win. It's just, like, imagining, you know, having to fight against this, like, is so hilarious. It's just a crazy orc with infinite spears, like, just... And they're also rockets for some reason. This is like a fucked up version of Rambo. He also has a kill saw, let's not forget. We also have, like, a fucking industrial rotary saw available to us. Oh man, he's a jumpy little boy, isn't he? Okay, okay. We overheated pretty fast right there. We can kind of camp the doors. Yeah, we can definitely camp the doors. That seems good. But that seems like a strat. Okay, we're like a little bit more meticulous with it. I was gonna say, do you think we're gonna down him? I mean, yeah, the commissar, you know, lived through a wah of that, which is maybe a little messed up. Perhaps the kill saw is more, you know, suited for the smaller targets, based on that alone. Oh, I guess someone's little giblet was there. I do like the look of this kill saw. It looks absolutely amazing. It's modeled after one of the Death Tread weapons, I think. No, I think it's a Killicant's actual, like, saw weapon that it's modeled after. I recognize the bit. I think I painted, like, 2 of them. So, do you think we can kill the Lehman Russ Punisher with spears only? Yo, you can actually, like, embed this thing into the bosses. That's sick. I was wondering if that was a thing against, like, the bigger bosses. That's so awesome. Bro, like, we have an infinite ammo rocket launcher, essentially. Hey, what if I... Can I throw, like, a squig at it? I want to see how much damage that does. Oh, man, I didn't really, like, get to see it. Let's try it again. I'm not gonna, like, actually attack it. I just want to see... So it, like, bites it a little? Come on, kill my squig. I want to see the damage. That's really not bad, honestly, with all the biting and everything. Oh, he can also, like, push the stuff that's embedded into the map. I mean, that's actually pretty nice. This guy might be, like, the best against bosses, then. And you don't necessarily need the wah. To be honest, man, I think that's gonna be the playthrough. We're just gonna chuck spears at everything. I'm having a lot of fun with it. We might reconsider after the Baneblade fight, because I wouldn't say that's like a make or break moment, but it is a tougher boss fight. And it's the one after this one, so we still have like a little bit of a ways to go. Man, I love this game so much. I think I mentioned it a lot before. You know, depending on what you look for in a video game, you might not be satisfied with the value that you get. At the same time, if you do what I do here and like play through with every single character, and keep in mind, I've also only played single player, and I've not done any like co-op, I've not done anything other than just like playing this game randomly, basically. You could get so much more out of this if you play with friends. Like, it actually seems like a really fun game to just, like, screw around in with a couple of your friends. And I know that's kind of a cheap excuse, though, because, you know, anything is more fun with friends. Like, you could watch paint dry and it would be a genuinely fun experience with the right people. At the same time, though, I don't know, man, this game is kind of fun. And I love the attention to detail. I definitely think that I got my money's worth. Maybe you're not going to be as weird about it as me, though. Like, maybe you won't get 4 playthroughs out of it. But if you are a little bit like me, then I would say, yeah, it's absolutely worth it. I don't want your grenade. How about I just give you an explosive spear instead? Let's trade. Killing snipers with thrown spears. You don't need a gun. You just need some upper body strength, clearly. Okay, maybe we need more than upper body strength against an Ogren. Although we were able to kill one of, like, with the spear earlier. I wish you could, like, embed the spears into him as well. We can just, like, kite him, though. This takes a fair bit of time with the spears only. That might get nasty in certain parts. It's kind of strange, though, because the little mini-boss type enemies seem to be, like, tougher against this weapon than some of the bosses. Like, against, you know, health bars so far, like boss health bars, the damage has actually been half decent, I would say. Let's get the artillery silenced first. I don't want to deal with that. I also don't necessarily want to deal stealth damage to myself. Taking like a little blast pistol hit is fine. I think I can live with that. I do kind of feel that the headshot makes a difference. I can't help but feel that. Because sometimes we kill the ratlings with one hit. But, I mean, that was like a clean headshot and it didn't matter so much, so I'm not sure. Maybe this is like a kind of a Resident Evil style thing, you know, where different enemies have different health bars. And it's kind of like randomly generated, or it's kind of set in stone, maybe. I think one of the Resident Evil games did that. Wasn't it like the very first one, actually? That had like set health for zombies? So you had zomboids that were really tough to kill, and you had zombies that didn't have like that much health anymore. Maybe it's one of those situations. We will probably have to use the Y eventually, because, you know, it's a core mechanic. I'm kind of scared with some of the boss fights, because after so many playthroughs, I have noticed that, for example, with all the bosses that have, like, multiple recurring phases, so we're talking, like, the Night Valiant, and also, I think the Stompa War boss, the final boss in the game, is very similar. You basically have to take them into, like, their damage phase when they just, you know, sit there and take it. And that's, like, your only window to deal damage. And so far, my impression has been that you absolutely need to use the wah to be able to get the boss fights. And basically, they have, like, an intended length. Usually, you need to go through, you know, you need to break down their shields or take them into the damaging phase. Like, get their other health bar out, essentially. About 3 times so far has been my experience. Bro, this like spear is absolutely sick with it. I'm loving it. Oh no, I forgot we don't like walk up there. Totally thought we were in a different spot. We gotta kill them all. I want to wait for the big guys to show up before I like throw a couple bomb sticks. Is there a way we can have them just attack from one angle? Yeah, I think this will work. Absolutely, this is working. Yeah, fight my bomb squig. Fight it. Fight it. Fight the bomb squig. It didn't do as much as I had hoped. I mean, I think it dealt like some chip damage to everybody, which is maybe better than what I was hoping for. But no, you're gonna take spear and you're gonna like it. I'm gonna like go back to this spot. Oh no, they spawn from there now. Oh god. I thought I was so smart. Well, I guess I'll go to the other side then. If you leave me no choice. Okay, just do a little bit of kiting action. Just take a grenade to the face. That's always important. Nice! Actually, that went super well. And apart from like the very beginning, we still not really used like an actual gun. We've used a melee weapon basically. Oh, these guys are a little bit tougher than the Ogryn bodyguards for some reason, in my experience at least. They also have shotguns, which are really mean weapons. Oh, you can trigger your own bomb squig though. That's kind of neat. I feel like that's gonna come in handy. You can kind of do like almost the Unreal Tournament like plasma ball thing, where you know you shoot your own plasma, like slow-moving ball lightning projectile, and it causes an explosion. Like you can trigger that yourself. There's also like a kill 'em all section coming up here, I think. Yeah, I remember. Well, it's kind of like a fake kill 'em all section. I believe there's some artillery up at the tippity top. I will hit you eventually. Oh yeah, I did. Wonderful. And honestly, I can just like comfortably go from here, I think. Now that I don't have to, you know, be scared of artillery strikes, I can mostly just exist down here and be fine with it. They have very similar heads, huh, those two lads? But you know, old humies look alike to me. Not racist, just don't like them. I mean, orcs are not racist. They hate everyone equally, including but not limited to other orcs. They're actually very, very much on like the whole equal rights thing. They're a firm believer that no one other than the orcs should have any rights to live. So technically speaking, they're like some of the nicest people you could meet, while simultaneously being a bunch of rude football hooligans, essentially, with guns, of course, with fucked up guns. And I say fucked up guns, but like I don't think you understand the extent of the fucked up like weaponry. They got like a gun that shoots goblins, well, stuff that's even smaller than goblins, technically speaking, because they're snotlings, through like a portal to hell and inside of your body. And that's the damaging process of the shock attack gun, which by the way is an incredible name for a weapon. And it kind of adequately describes what the gun is doing, right? Incidentally, like, you kind of understand, like, ah yes, it is indeed a gun that shocks and attacks people. And I mean, it's shocking on more levels than one. There's still a guy down here. I was gonna say, did he make it? Man, he's a tough one. I think he deserves a medal. He was doing good right there. Let's see. You know what? Do I not have a squig? Have a squig. I guess you can't like, trigger your squig, or it's kind of weird to do so. I feel like we figured out the takedown for this, you know, for the big lads. Give me a moment, I want to check something real quick. Did I leave anything on in the background that I didn't need to? No, I think we're Gucci, alrighty. Once again, I had like that little moment of panic where I'm like, oh shit, did I do something wrong? But I didn't. Not yet, at least. Going down, apparently. Bro, like, Spear Chucking Simulator 2022 is looking mighty, mighty nice. I can't help but feel bad for my orc, though. Like, at a certain point, I guess he switches arms, though, when I look from, you know, side to side. So, basically, he's getting, you know, arm workouts on both sides. That's good to know. I was gonna say, like, if it's only his left, like, he's gonna have a sore fucking left arm by the end of this. Even if he is switching, man, it's gonna be like a 3-hour workout. That's kind of hell. Hell in a handbasket, some people out of Left 4 Dead would say. I know some actual real people say that too, but I mean, look, I learned it from Bill. Bill's a cool character, though, to be honest with you. I mean, all the characters in Left 4 Dead were actually really well done. Left 4 Dead 2 was kind of like a little bit worse in that regard, but I feel like that's because they didn't have like as much fleshing out. Because some of the characters are actually bad. It's just that they seem a little bit more shallow, but then at the same time you gotta consider, like, Left 4 Dead 1 got a ton of comics and a ton of other stuff as well. So it wasn't just, you know, the game teaching you about the characters. you also got to know plenty about them in like the little official comics and stuff that they released. I believe, yeah, more guys actually spawn here. Take a squig. It's on the house. I guess we're also using grenades, so you know it's not really like a super challenge playthrough, but it's a thematic playthrough. Let's call it that, and then I can feel better about myself that I'm doing something relatively unconventional. Interestingly enough, it's also a playthrough that doesn't involve a lot of wah. I guess we have used it though a fair few times. I mean, I'm not gonna restart and like redo it just for the sake of saying like, oh yeah, you can play through the game with just spears and like whatever. I'm just like doing what feels right to me. I believe we get to go through here now. Yep. Why does that look like slightly jumpable? I don't think it actually is, but it looks jumpable up there. But I think I mentioned this before, that the backgrounds being as detailed as they are sometimes leads to like this weird situation where you can't really tell where you're supposed to actually jump. Be gone, sniper. Sniper, no sniping. I feel like we're gonna, like, yeah, he took that explosion straight into the face. So I can't help but wonder how much health he had left, but apparently not a lot. Multiple snipers. I mentioned this in the previous playthrough, but I can't help but feel that we are single-handedly exterminating like an entire Ratling Auxilia. I'm pretty sure you kill like hundreds of them by the end of the game. And they're probably like the only enemy that you don't have like a tracker for. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna check real fast. Because there's a ton of achievements for getting various kills. Let's see, we got Commissar, Scions, Marines, Orcs, even more Orcs, Astra Militarum, Sewer enemies, Genestealer Cultists. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that Ratlings are like the only enemy that don't actually have an achievement associated with them. Which is a bit sad. Like, you know, they're kind of a threat with their sniper rifles, but the game is just like, nah, don't worry about it, bro. Just kill them. It's okay. Poor Ratlings. No one takes them seriously. I feel like this is gonna be the only playthrough where we actually use like a fair bit of grenades. Which is also nice for a change. Speaking of Ratlings, the man just like took it in the face and was fine. Okay, that one wasn't so fine. Apparently the second one was not so enjoyable for him. Dude, these spears are sick with it. I love it. Absolutely great. I really want to do like most of the game with the spears. It seems like such a fun time. Let's see if my opinion is about to change about that though, because this is like one of those make or break boss fights. The tension. Oh my god. It is the Bane Blade!
Vile Xenos! How dare you profane the sacred territory of the Imperium of Man!
Oh, never mind that, you mean. I's got a deal for ya. Give us your DAKKA, and I won't rip your head off.
Ha! This glorious war machine belongs to the Emperor, as does Luteus.
That's why you're wrong, Yumi. This planet is green.
I will purge your filth from the Emperor's world. For the Imperium! Fire!
We're so confident in the cutscene until we remember, like, oh shit, that is actually a Bane Blade. Bro, the explosions, like, deal a tremendous amount of damage to the bosses. You love to see it. I'm crazy in love with that, man. Look at that. We're already, like, through 1/3 of his initial health bar. That's so cool. This is, like, just a faster fucking rocket launcher, dude. The DPS, the deeps. Thank you, sir. We can just, you know, keep chucking away at it. I love the fact that against the big bosses, you get the embed. I guess it's only against the actual vehicles, if I had to guess. So for the Stompa, it might come in handy, like during the final boss fight. But, and also I guess against the Knight Valiant, it's also gonna come into effect. But I think that, for example, against Patriarch, I don't think we're gonna be getting, you know, like actual stuck goodness on him. We're gonna be mostly, like, nailing him pretty much, and then just getting some, like, piercing damage. Yeah, he does have a higher health, like, more health on his second health bar from the looks of it. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I'm dodging with the best of them, but then I wasn't. He's gonna do, like, a charge attack eventually. There it is. Oh, no, that's the crash as well. No! This boss fight, like, crashes once every time. They still haven't fixed that, apparently. Although, in their defense, I don't think they've had an update since, like, 2 weeks ago. I'm used to it by now. I think Patriarch also crashes sometimes. I mean, I think I had a stream where every single boss crashed the game, like, at least once. Maybe not the final boss, but perhaps even the final boss. I'm not sure what it is. I mean, I'm not that mad, though, because as we saw, the first phase is such a breeze to get through, even with just the spears. I think we'll be fine. It was, what, like, a minute at most? I think we're okay. Like, I'm not really that worried about lost progress, if you will. And so far, at least, the save file has never been corrupted. So that's something, at least. Let's see. That looks right to me. Let's get back in there. We will, you know, skip the cutscene. It's a good cutscene. All the cutscenes are actually really good in this game. I like the dialogue. The animations are really cute. And, like, pretty expressive, too. Man, I'm getting better with the dodges, apparently. Let's see if we can continue it. Maybe we can flawless this boss fight. I was gonna say that's probably where we fail, but apparently not. The last cannons are more like multi-lasers. Oh no, my flawless. My no-hit run? I gotta restart now? God, no. No, wait, I'm not playing like a FromSoft game or anything. I'm kinda pleased with like that dodge though. We're figuring it out slowly but surely. I nearly just jumped into it. Ignore me. I'm out here like patting my back as I'm literally about to jump into possibly the most damaging projectile this boss has, in like phase 1 at least. Yeah, we still got hit by that, but we also do have like a ton of health, an actual ton of health. Let's just, you know, try to see if we can get her done. Honestly, the little ads that will spawn are going to be probably more annoying than the actual boss. Because we have to deal with them, and also pay attention to the projectile like falling from the sky. He's about to do his charge attack, I thought. Yep. I saw him like wave the sword around a little bit. The thing we gotta remember is he also comes back. Yeah, I gotta like keep in mind that I do have self-damage and knockback on my own spears. So when he actually is about to retreat, I shouldn't like throw it at him, because that can lead to some pretty nasty situations, such as that one. Like I screwed myself over more than I dealt damage to him. You know, sometimes you're your own worst enemy. Let's just like focus on the ads, I guess, during this phase. Ideally, we do want to like stand on the platform so we can dodge him easier. I think you do have to like stand up there basically to be able to dodge his projectile. Was that just one guy that shot all those like laser projectiles, by the way? Apparently it is. Man, it's the same as like a last cannon, which is kind of insane. He's about to do the charge attack. I don't really mind. Let's see if we can, you know, clear some ads. Okay, he's about to retreat. Let's not like throw more stuff. That's still okay. That wasn't like that bad in terms of the damage that we took. We could probably like whip out a different weapon, but I'm having so much fun like just chugging spears. Why can't I carry all these spears? I think he likes getting smeared as well. He's not really complaining, is he? Gotta get that double jump. I think that's the last spear that we're gonna throw at him, because he's about to retreat. Yep. Put it in reverse. Just jump over it like a professional, like it was my job. Get hit by, you know, falling debris like it was also my job. Pretty good at it, man. My head is absolutely built to get hit by oversized crates. I think he's gonna do like one last charge from the looks of it. We should also be careful when he throws. Well, not throws. I guess we can just kill him there. Like when he charges, if we have like a spear embedded in him, we could also get hit by it because it's actually like he's bringing it to us pretty much. I feel like the sewers are going to be the part where this whole thing falls apart. And it's mostly because of the friggin' rats. Rats, we are the rats, here to celebrate another birthday bash. They do die in one hit, but you gotta like, because they're so low to the ground, you gotta fucking jump around and hit them one at a time from the looks of it, basically. And that's hard to do. So we might abandon our fun little concept of a run here. I apparently cannot, for the life of me, like, throw a spear in a tunnel. I wonder why that is. This thing, like, builds the overcharge really fast as well. It's kind of nasty. Oh man, I wish that you could embed, like, the spears into some croc. Fortunately, you can't, but we can also just, like, dodge all his attacks and it's okay. This guy is not, like, that tough. Trust me, he's about to go down. You can tell from the pixels. He's getting a little tired. You see, we just gave him a little bite, and it'll throw him a bone. Okay, maybe he's a lot tougher than I remember. Yeah, I feel like the rats are gonna be like the nastiest thing here. And also my own self-damage. If we like retreat every time, we should be fine, but it's gonna make it so much longer to do this. There's also so many of them. Bro, they just keep on coming. I abandoned my concept because the rats, man, I hate them. I hate them so much. I don't know why they have to spawn like 12 of them at like the entrance of every single sewer. Yeah, we're just gonna cook them. We're just gonna cook them with this, man. I think they also back spawn. Yeah, they do. And like we get 2 sets for some reason. My lord, they just don't stop coming apparently. Oh, so that's like a one shot basically. He also gets hit by the explosion. I guess like, you know, this part exists to filter the bad strat that I'm doing. It's kind of sad though. Like I wish you could actually just go through the whole game just using spears. I guess, you know, fun detected, and then it's not allowed, basically. No fun allowed. This is a serious old game. I'm complaining for no reason, by the way. Like, it's still good. It's just like I can't do a weird, silly gimmick run. Or, like, it's harder than I initially thought, and therefore I complain. I'm just a whiny little baby. It's just baby rage. You can freely ignore it. Shotgun is rather good at like dealing with all of this garbage. That like instantly exploded, interestingly enough. I'm not really sure what happened there, but I will not be asking questions. If this shotgun had like a larger magazine, it would be the best weapon in the whole game. As it is, it's just like the second best weapon in the whole entire game. I always think that there's like something super cool here, but it really is just like a bunch of fallen boxes. And there's nothing explicitly wrong with that, but it's just not particularly inspiring. Yeah, so apparently if you hit like the actual bottom of those tentacles, it like instantly explodes the spear. I'm not really sure why, but it's kind of neat. You see? It like instantly triggers the explosion. I guess probably they're coded in a way in terms of enemies that it behaves differently. I was gonna say, like, no rats? Like, come on, man. I've only killed, like, 98 of them so far. You gotta... Apparently one of her projectiles, like, snuck in here and got that guy on fire. You'd love to see it. The third stump croc. Oh, and we do have the rats at the same time. Now, this is an actual boss fight with the rats involved, you know? If it's just a giant crocodile, it's fine. It's totally fine. I could have handled it, but not with the rat. Not with the rat entourage, man. Actual raid boss is the rat. The final boss is just a bunch of rats. The Skaven apparently have unlimited power level. mean, hey, let's just actually use some guns while we're here. I've been complaining too much anyway, so we might as well make it a little bit better on ourselves.
Don't worry, gits. I've got
Plenty of DAKKA. I will still occasionally use the spears, but I don't think we're going to use it as like our main form of damage going forward. Have a little bit of variety, or at least pretend to. I do want to get like these guys with it, for example, because it is fairly easy to hit them. They're just like stationary enemies, basically. There's like an entire batch of them down there, Jesus Christ. Okay, I was gonna say, like, are we done? But then we weren't. Be gone. Be gone, cultists. Nobody likes you. Let's see. Yeah, basic enemies, like, still die fairly easily from this thing. It's just some of the other ones are, like, harder to deal with. Oh, and that was, like, a 3-shot for some reason. Even though all the previous ones were a little easier to take down. Going down, apparently. Oh no, my squig is in the fucking radioactive goop. The bouncing spears are kind of nice. I'm liking it, for sure. Oh yeah, I gotta go up there. I always forget, for some reason. I remember, like, the actual way you gotta go, but not the fact that you gotta open it up first. You know, those guys have gotta be, like, deaf to not hear a giant explosion right on the door as well. Apparently we do hit him with some of the laser beams, though. Let's just keep going, man. What a nice little jumpy jump that we did there. Absolutely pleased. I mean, you know, like, if you hated the monotonous gameplay of me just chucking spears, be prepared for the monotonous gameplay of me mostly using the shotgun, because as it turns out, this is like an enclosed space. It's very good to have, like, bouncing projectiles, because it basically guarantees that you're going to hit anything and everything at the same time. And that's rather useful. And I mean, look at the damage. Against the small guys, it tends to do pretty well. I think we picked up that health because we're missing, like, the tiniest amount. But perhaps that's fine. I guess we also could have used the bomb squig to make this, like, a little easier. Man, did they just say take him down? Like, how rude. You can't take me down. I'm a Beast-snagga. I deal with beasties for a living. That's my day job, dude. And you guys are not exactly beasts, so you're very easy to deal with. I like the level design in this game as well. It's kind of nice that, you know, you come in through here, you gotta go down there, and then, like, it's a circular room, but it's kind of cleverly designed. You get to see what you need to do, basically. So for this part, I feel like we're probably just gonna, like, bolt it up, man. I know that there's some dudes up there. You might be wondering, why is he pre-firing already? But the thing is, I know something that you don't, which is there's a lot of enemies over there. And I mean, Bolta only has like 10 shots in a magazine, but it's enough because of the damage to deal with everything comfortably. I don't know if the AoE is going to matter, basically. We can kind of ignore, like, these guys. And I mean, setting that off might make a difference, I'm not sure. I'm going to pretend that it does. And then we keep the wall for this guy. Instantly, well, not instantly, but almost instantly kill him. Said almost instantly. You're making me look bad, dude. Stop. Thank you. Sometimes you just gotta tell people how you feel, and they'll die if that's what you want from them. Apparently. The lights are cool here, man. We do gotta kill them all. I will switch back to the laser shotgun. The zap shotgun, I believe, is the actual official name. Because again, it's very useful with all these platforms. It just bounces all around and sets everything on fire, basically. As you can see, it's quite good. This is one of those things where I feel like they could put this into the actual, like, game of 40K. But they probably won't have to, because I'm pretty sure the players, you know, will do it themselves. The people will convert this gun. I mean, you could take the idea behind it. It's just a bunch of las guns, like, tied together. So it's fairly easy to make. You can get the bits for it like really easily. It's kind of interesting that despite the fact that orcs have like a huge arsenal, they actually came up with a lot of like unique weapons just for this game. I assume like GW approved all the ideas because they're very hands-on with their IP, man. And I think I checked it out at some point that it's probably due to the UK like IP laws. Essentially, they have to like be like almost overprotective of their IP because in the UK, essentially what happens is if you don't exercise caution with an IP that you own, it can legitimately be taken away from you basically because they're like, well, clearly you had no use for the IP anymore. Because if you did, then you would be a lot more, you know, like concerned with how it's getting used. Which I'm not sure if that's like a good way of going about it, you know? Like, I can't help but feel that that's a little messed up, and it leads to kind of annoying, you know, overprotection of the IP. Like, GW, like, fucking, I don't know, like, does so many lawsuits and does so many, like, cease and desist on otherwise cool projects. I get it, because they also kind of have to, as we've established, but it doesn't change the fact that it's a little fucked up of them. Let's do a squiggy boy. I want to explodinate that. Yeah, this also doesn't get embedded in him. I'm a little sad about that, but it is what it is. I'm gonna try to keep in mind that we have like relatively decent grenades. So what I'm gonna try to do going forward is every time there's an ammo spawn at the beginning of the fight, I'll try to remind myself to actually use a grenade. Okay, my man is going for it apparently. The Gene Stealer fights are always a little bit weird because their AI is like very strange. It almost seems like they only want to attack from the back, which fits the sneaky vibe that they generally have, but it does make it kind of annoying because they don't tend to really attack you. As you can see, like that's his 6th attack in the whole fight. He's just mostly running around and jumping a little bit. He's not doing that much. I mean, I'm also not doing that much, to be fair, but this thing, like, actually deals quite a bit of damage to him, though. There we go. Boom goes the dynamite. I guess I should get my health maxed. I don't know if it matters if we're, like, right before a loading screen or not. I don't remember all the loading screens. I mean, yeah, there is one here, apparently. Fairly certain you get, you know, your health back for that. Let's make that counter go down to 0. I guess if they walk through it, they also take damage, huh? It looks like. Ah, yes, fight the rats. You see, we could be friends. We all hate the rats, apparently. It's fucking rats that get killed last as well. I think there was only like some teeth up here, but yep. I think there was like a chest of teeth there, but it's not there anymore because we've already collected it. We're still missing quite a bit of Teef, as it turns out, though. Break the glass, get that guy. Yep, we just like stun locked him essentially. Curious what the Patriarch boss fight is gonna go like as this guy. Because you do kind of interrupt your own shooting by actually using the spear. So I'm not sure if that's going to be like an actual like added value thing for the boss fight, basically. And as we saw, because he's not like a vehicle and not like super huge, I don't think we're going to get to embed the spears into him. Pretty sure we'll get like piercing damage, and if he's right next to that wall when they explode, which is very unlikely because he moves around a ton, then maybe we'll get, you know, an accidental double tap, but it's very unlikely. Oh, I can go through the fire. Normally you kind of can't. I just wanted to like kill these guys. I don't know why you would have like these things. I guess if you wanted to, I don't really know, like temper something. But I think this is like a Promethean refinery, so maybe they just gotta use, like, you know, it's just some waste product that they gotta burn, basically. Okay, we got him. This is another one of those kill 'em all sections. I wish it said kill them all instead of kill them all. Or maybe them with a D. That would also be fine. It wouldn't really be orky because I don't think they would say it that way. They would just go for M. Man, we got some actual hybrid boys now. They're relatively tough. I do love my squig hat. It's so cute. Just look at little squig like chilling on my head. He's not even like tied up there, I think. He's just having a good time. He loves being there. Dude, the bolt is so good. I always forget that this gun is like actually incredible. Such high damage. It's got the AoE component as well. It has knockback. It's very, very good. But like I said, I think most of the guns in this game kind of have that stuff about them. They're really fun to use. I haven't really ran into a gun that's not fun to use. Even like the basic like shotguns and stuff are pretty amusing. In fact, the basic shotgun has like super high damage too. The magazine size is like fairly limited, but still, it's a very, very good gun. Perhaps, you know, this is also to deal with the difficulty. Like, I didn't go for hard, where maybe you need to, like, completely optimize your loadout, but then that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to. For once, we didn't, like, set this on fire, so I'm going to, you know, change that. We also didn't explode these barrels. How surprising. We did set ourselves on fire, for what it's worth. I need to jump. Normally those guys don't really notice me until like I actually go up. I guess they paid a little bit more attention this time. Once again, I don't think there's much of a reason to come up here. I guess we can kill like some extra enemies, but usually you would come here because of the teeth that you get. These guys are like actually tough. It's a pretty sizable horde up there. Hopefully the bomb squig like clears out some of them. I think it helped. It didn't like kill the most annoying lad up there, but hey. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just the spot that has the loot normally. Oh, you're kidding me. I can't get that health. He like went too far into the spawn. Let me in! Let me in! In the end, he did let me in, for what it's worth. Okie dokie. Let's just see what we can still do here. Oh, there's a lot of lads like still chilling down here apparently. I don't know what that screen shake was, but it was a nasty case of it. I guess something exploded, huh? I do think that, like, as cool as the spears are, it's kind of weird, you know, to have a range melee attack. Like, it's very hard, especially after so many playthroughs, to not, like, get that itch of, like, I need to melee the guys that are closest to me. It's like your basic instinct. Can't tell where the other pneumatic presses come down there, but... Stop. Sir, stop. I need to take down that guy. Yeah, that was not like the most ideal. I would, if I could pick the target, I would have made him go for the actual like acolyte hybrid, I believe is the name. Maybe we can kill the heavy weapon miner lad. We did. Incidentally, we did. So much health just stuck here. I mean, you can do like one melee and then you know, like almost like juggle them into it. Although this guy is particularly sneaky. But we kind of did it, you know, we kind of pulled it off in the end. Getting very skillful up in here, apparently. Oh yeah, I totally forgot to mention, a long time ago, I think I talked about, like, a little, like, I'm not even sure if it's an actual board game, if it has anything in it, other than the glasses. But there's, like, a little thing that I found on Amazon, after seeing a video, that basically, like, inverts your vision. So you put the glasses on, and then it inverts what you see. It's basically, as far as I understand, just kind of like the same lenses that you would have in, oh, what is it? What is it even called, man? Like a magnifying glass. I don't know why that was, like, escaping me right there. It's so silly that we can't, like, skewer this guy. I'm mad. But, yeah, I saw that in a video, and apparently, you know, because everything gets flipped upside down, it makes very, very basic tasks We did embed it into him? I'm confused. Man, some of the stuff in this game is very hard to understand, huh? But yeah, so I found that. I found like a version of that on Amazon, and I ended up getting it. And my plan is to maybe do like an actual like IRL stream where I fool around with it a little bit. But more than anything, what I would want to do with it is actually like try to play video games with it. Because apparently like fucking, you know, just signing a piece of paper or even something easier like pouring a glass of water becomes incredibly difficult like with those on. And I kind of think like, you know, what if I'm just built different? And I can play video games with those things on. Like, what if? I feel like I'll need, like, a barf bucket. So headshots... So his back is, like, apparently more immune to damage from the looks of it. Yeah, because you only get the embed. Like, you only get the skewer when you get the headshot from the looks of it. But yeah, that's gonna be like an upcoming stream, probably at the end of the month to do the delivery time. I possibly could have found something like local, but I was just like, well, you know, this seems like I believe the reviews were good. It wasn't the exact thing that I saw in the video. I think the video in question was one by Rhett and Link of Good Mythical Morning fame, and I mean those guys have been around for the longest freaking time, dude. They're very good and solid entertainers. But I was inspired by that. But I want to kind of turn it into my own thing, a little bit at least. And, you know, like, have a little bit of fun. So how do we get the... How do we snag you? Because I'm getting, like, the headshots. Maybe it's a bug and it's not... I feel like, yeah, the exact headshot is apparently, like, what you need from the looks of it. Yep. It does look like that. And apparently it is a 3-shot when you do get that. But yeah, so I would like to try to make some video game related stuff with that, even if it is going to be very difficult. So we'll see. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I always forget where they spawn in this one, because it's like a relatively big arena. We can send in the bomb squig. Yeah, go for that guy, go for that guy. Nice! He actually went for the right person. Okay, that's not the right person, but maybe... No, he continues to just chomp on all the wrong people. That's fine, I guess. He'll just explode there and, like, set a massive fire. Maybe he... No, he apparently exploded outside of the pool of Promethium, which is basically just oil, but, you know, 40k. Gotta have a cool name. And I'm getting, like, air juggled over here. He's content to just, like, stand there, apparently, which I guess I'm content with, too. It's kind of funny that the Bolta is, like, the only explosive weapon that doesn't have self-damage. Did that guy just kill himself? Or did we, like, do an assisted suicide on him by actually, like, hitting him as he was jumping? I'm not sure. I think the last guy is over there. Big screen shake moment. Okay. I'm crouched. I look like I'm perma-crouched. Okay, now I'm no longer perma-crouched. I'm not sure what that was all about. I guess I was crouched for the cutscene, and then it was like, oh, you're gonna be crouching for the rest of your life. Which sounds painful, to be honest. You'll get some amazing, like, calves, I assume. So, hey, maybe some people would be like, hell yeah, brother. Anything to get swole, you know?
Stick bomb time.
Yeah, like, there's usually a guy in here. But I guess he's dead now. You can just have a random heavy bolter from there. Maybe we should have taken it. I kind of already have, you know, like a rapid fire missile launcher in the form of this gun, the Bolta. Good old Bolta. Oh, are we about to have the Patriarch boss fight? I think it's coming up soon. I just wish. The only thing that I want is so that I can skewer him, like, with my spears. That's the only thing I want. If that is a possibility, I'll be the happiest little gal. I'll be like, just so happy.
tougher than you.
If I have to like waste a wish from a genie on it, then I would still do it, man. It'd still be worth it. At least we like got him out of position, I guess. Although you know, it doesn't explicitly help. He still like took half our fucking health bar off. Gotta be a little bit more careful. I was gonna say, like, the fire seems a little dangerous with all the barrels around. That's good enough to reach that, though. So it's just a glorified treadmill, isn't it? I wish there was an achievement, you know, to get, like, super swole. Just run on the treadmill for, I don't know, an hour, and then be like, hell yeah. Giga swole. It would increase your movement speed. That's if I was a game developer, I would make my players do shit like that, or I would add, like, secrets like that. It would not be fun to get, and the rewards you get would be basically meaningless, but you know, you might get a chuckle out of them and be like, I guess it makes sense. I think that it's a good thing that maybe I'm not, like, I think maybe it's a good thing that I'm not a game developer. Let's phrase it that way so that it makes sense. Oh boy. We got lads incoming from all around. But I think we'll be fine. At the end of the day, I don't feel bad about, you know, not just sticking to the spears, because the game is called Shootas, Blood, and Teef, not spears. It's kind of nice that you can, like, get headshots on those guys and get it in their head. It's kind of funny. It's also not bad damage-wise from what we've seen so far. Yeah, like, you know, he was relatively easy to take down as a consequence. Gotta be careful with those guys, though, because they, like, charge you and deal a ton of damage if they, you know, actually get to pass through you. But yes, I'm planning on doing, like, a stream with the weird glasses. Probably, like I said, at the end of the month, when I do, in fact, receive them. I should have tried to, like, dash through that, because I think in this part you can. Maybe in all parts you can. I mean, you can, but it still deals damage to you. It's inconsistent. It's a little bit inconsistent. We do need all the health that we can get right now. How much damage do we deal to that guy? Quite a bit with the spears, actually. The downside is obviously that these guys, like, just, you know, go danger close. So it's maybe a bad idea to... Wait, you can embed the stuff in anybody's head, apparently, with headshots, because, like, that boss, it was passing through him, and then we hit him in the head, and it just, like, stuck. You think any guy that has enough health to basically, like, take that, we can just, like, skewer like that? Because that's kind of a neat mechanic, if that's the case. I thought it was only, like, these big lads, but we just got it on the Biophagus as well. Well, we probably shouldn't focus on it. Like, we should probably just get the wall. Like, let's do a bomb squig, because we do have, you know, an ammo crate anyway. Let's give that a second try. I guess we can pick up the health, too, while we're at it. We can just, like, chuck a spear every now and then. If they, like, line up, it's a fair bit of damage to everybody. Oh, we also have another ammo crate, but maybe we should save that for the boss fight. They do, like, bunch up a little in the beginning of it, so we could probably get, like, a multi-explosion, you know? Just deal a bunch of AoE to everybody. I'm trying to strategize over here, you know, on my very, very difficult game. We're playing on normal mode, I'll have you know. This isn't the baby mode. It's the one above the baby mode. This isn't I'm too young to die. It's hurt me plenty. Absolute Chad choice in that regard. Maybe I'm better off for, like, the wave with this gun still. It has plenty of like, there's plenty of surfaces for this to bounce off of, right? And it kills the small stuff so well. Even that guy got owned by it, basically. Okay. Did I end up, oh yeah, I did end up throwing one. I was gonna say, like, we have another one. Oh man, come on now. Do we want to kill this guy first? So he's like the actual boss fight. These lads are just, you know, the extra. that was just like a pass-through attack. The knockback is rather useful on this, if anything. Man, they're taking the shots for him. Making that lookout, sir, apparently. It looks like you can also, like, interrupt the guy's attacks by doing that. Do we have any, like, health that I may have missed? There's some, like, down there. There's just some here. Okay. I think that might have been, like, a skewer or two. We're back on the full 3 number of grenades. Doing rather well, but I believe it is now time for the Patriarcho. Oh boy, if we can skewer him, then this is gonna be a good time. But other than that, it's gonna be bad.
There's something a bit weird about this here, Yumi. Hang on a minute. 1, 2, 3. Wait, 3? That's not right. He's got too many arms.
God damn it, he figured it out.
What's making all that noise? What the?
The Patriarch. What'd that tongue do, though? Look, we were all thinking it. Like, I just had to voice it.
You trespass in the tabernacle of the Earth, the Emperor. Prepare to die. You's just funny-looking Yumis. What's you gonna do to a big orc like me? Huh?
The only way this would have been even better was if they do a close-up on one of the cultists just messing with the light switch. I'm getting the headshots, but it's not like embedding. Although with the shield, apparently, with the actual like psychic shield, it apparently instantly explodes. That's kind of neat. Hey, do you think like grenades do anything against this guy? Not a lot. I would say maybe not enough. I mean, you know, I'm scared of a crash here, but this is right now still phase 1, and we're not like doing terrifically well. So maybe it's okay. We're building the wall like relatively fast, at least. Gotta get that dash right there. Do I want to waste? Yeah, let's do it. Let's just like get through phase 1 at least. It's for some reason easier for me to do phase 2 than phase 1. I'm not sure what is up with that. I'm going to mostly like just focus on shooting, since apparently we can't like actually skewer him with the spears. So it seems to make the most sense to just go for the sure thing. If we get like super accurate, we could skewer that guy. And I guess, you know, we can place like some additional damage down in the form of more spears, at least on the small guys. Don't throw another grenade, please. I do not want that. That was like kind of nice, actually. I don't want to use the wall on these guys on the interim wave. Even if there are big lads and whatnot, I would much prefer to actually keep it for the Patriarch, you know? Oh, we crashed. We just crashed anyway. I'm hoping, though, that gets the crash out of the way, essentially. And hopefully, you know, we don't have to worry about that anymore, like, going forward. It's a little bit sad that, you know, the game is a bit unstable. If I was going to write an actual Steam review about it, I would mention it, because I think it's something that might be important to people. It is, like, a little bit unstable. As you can see, like, both major boss fights that we've had in the form of the Baneblade and also the Patriarch. I guess any boss fight after a cutscene, it looks like. Because with some bosses, you get the boss fight and there's no, like, preemptive cutscene. You don't get, like, a little bit of backstory. But apparently the cutscene bosses tend to have this issue. I guess we'll keep an eye out for it because, like I said, there's a ton of, like, health bar bosses that just kind of pop into the map. And usually there's no issue with those. So it seems like any boss that is considered, like, you know, the actual boss of an area, we are going to skip it. Like I said, the cutscenes are wonderful, but I think once you've seen them, like, during a stream, you're kind of good until the next one. I was going to say, like, this thing is at least good against the shield. Like, hell, holy hell, man, it deals a ton of damage. Yeah, that was a bad idea, huh? Well, let's just wide up. I guess, yeah, I'll just take that damage, don't worry about it. Like I said, phase 1, apparently I struggle with, but everything else I'm really good. Oh, you little. How extremely rude of you. You have, like, no health. And you dare pull out your Psychic Shield once again. I believe we will get some health here. Copium. We're not doing great in terms of health right now. I think the previous attempt was a lot better. Kind of like how we figured out like how to do that against these guys, though. It makes me feel kind of nice. I mean, you can also apparently just get it in the chest, so I'm not sure. That looks really uncomfortable for him, though. Man, I tried to like air dash, but apparently you can't. Like I said, like we want to keep the Wa for the actual boss here. I don't just want to waste it on small dudes. Sometimes it looks like if you get a kill shot with the spear, you just like trigger the explosion immediately. That's maybe the one thing I wish was kind of better explained about this game. Like some of the mechanics are not exactly like transparent, to put it lightly. And there's a lot of stuff that I still don't really know how people do. Like I've seen some people mention online, for example, in like an orc group on Facebook, that apparently you can absolutely like break these projectiles that he does, but I don't know how they did it. And when I asked, like, you know, no proof or actual method was explained to me, which is fine. You know, it's like that old Lord of the Rings meme. Like, fine, keep your secrets. I wish the spear was like a one-shot kill. You know what could make this game better? I have like an actual suggestion, and then I have like a meme suggestion. So my actual suggestion is, what if the various hats, or maybe something else that you could equip, kind of changed the gameplay slightly? Like they would give different, you know, weapon types, maybe more damage slightly. I think that could make it a little bit more interesting, so you have like actual customization in a way. I think that could be like kind of fun. It would be probably like it would make the game a little bit more complex, and maybe it would take away from, you know, just wearing whatever like hat you want to wear, because you'd have to optimize, or you would have you know, an incentive to optimize, really is the best way to put it. But I think it would make like the game a little bit more complex, and perhaps that's good in the grand scheme of things. And my other actual meme suggestion would be, what if after you complete the game with at least like 2 of the characters, or maybe just like keep it for, you know, the hardcore folks that complete the game as every character, which we're about to do, by the way. Yeah, I was very nervous about that jump, if you couldn't tell. And those projectiles are still going, holy. But yeah, like what if you know, played through the game with every character, you would get the option to get a unique character in the form of the Stompa War Boss. And you would just basically like go through every level as like an oversized character that doesn't even have to really fight, because you can just move through stuff and kill him. To be honest, like other than the crash, we went through that fairly easily. It seems like the rocket spears are very good against the psychic shield. I kind of wonder if maybe they're gonna be good against all shields. Because if that's the case, I'm looking very, very much forward to the Night Valiant fight.
I ain't even shot you yet.
But before we get there, we gotta like run back through the whole way we came in the collapsing refinery.
Get back here for a proper crumping.
Proper crumping.
That wasn't me.
You know, no one cares, but you gotta establish that it's not your fault, that the entire place is now exploding. You're like the only guy with a gun that hits everything on screen, but you know, it wasn't me. Wasn't me, boss. It is very orky to say that. I'm the only thing that's gonna, you know, get out of here alive, so don't even think otherwise, lads. You're all staying down here and dying. Have us quick. It's on the house. Let's go. We got places to be. That actually just one place, and that place is anywhere but here. No, you don't get to use the last cannon. It's not allowed. You also do not get to use the last cannon. In fact, I'm the only one that gets to use the last cannon, so give it to me. It's a 2-shot against those guys, which is extremely satisfying. There we go. Bro, like, this last cannon is so insane. Another idea, which maybe if they would make the Teef system a little bit different, which I don't think they're gonna do, but it's just a thought, is like, what if you could buy, you know, the various weapons, even these ones, like the last cannon and stuff. I think that would be kind of cool, if you could also, like, pick that as a weapon. Maybe add, like, a separate heavy weapon slot. And perhaps you would have, like, limited ammo for them in the same way that you actually do now, but it might make the game, like, a little bit more interesting. Maybe when they make Shootas Blood and Teef too, you know? Which I don't think they're gonna make it, by the way. Like, I don't know how well the game actually performed. I still see plenty of people, dude, the squig just fucking ate him. Absolutely got eaten. That's kind of neat. I don't know actually what the stats on this game are like. I guess I could check, you know, Steam stats, or like Steam charts, to see how many people own it. I don't assume a lot of folks are still playing it. It's one of those normally one-and-done games. I was just talking about this with Gremlin, another streamer, friend of the channel, as people like to say. And I was just, like, he was surprised that I'm still, like, streaming this game, and I had to basically explain to him, like, I'm not really still streaming this game, I'm just, like, doing multiple playthroughs. And for me, the like 3 hours to 3.5 hour length of the game is actually ideal, because it's basically like one comfortable stream that doesn't like go on for too long. And you get to like experience all the characters. If it was any longer, I would think twice about doing multiple playthroughs, to be honest with you. Not because I'm not like a guy to do that, but if something would take like 2 or 3 streams to finish, I don't think I would schedule like 4, you know, sessions of it basically, like 4 playthroughs of it, because it just seems insane. It seems like such a commitment. You know what, I will dash right on out of there. Poor lads, they kind of got stuck. But that's what it's all about. I mean, they're gonna die and I'm gonna live. They're kind of like the blood sacrifice here. I don't even know what my orc guy called him there, but it sounded rude. Therefore, based. I like the feeder tendril heads on these hybrids as well. Those are probably my favorite Tyranid type head. I mean, it looks like fucking Cthulhu, so that's why. But yeah, basically, I'm trying to milk as much content out of this game, because I do in fact enjoy it. It's a pretty good time. I like the soundtrack. I like a lot of it, actually. And I mean, the actual character designs and everything, they're pretty, like, cute, you know? I was gonna say, like, can we please have the Gene Stealer spawn? Thank you. Let's do some... Is this like a good place to use a rocket launcher? Maybe not. Can you like spawn back so that I can shoot you? Yeah, this is like a harder arena to utilize this, for the looks of it. Because if we like hit something dead on, then, you know, it basically negates the homing. But if we just, like, sneak it around corners, we're fine. I feel like we're bursting it down, yeah. With the rocket launchers, I don't see much of a difference between the basic and the homing one. I thought maybe the basic, you know, blind fire one would be, like, more damage, but you actually gotta aim it. But based on the stat screen, they seem to do kind of the exact same amount of damage, interestingly enough. That's also the only instance, I think, of a rat bomb in the whole game. It's kind of rude. Because it happens right before a checkpoint. So I feel like if you barely get through that Gene Stealer fight, you could be in for a world of hurt. I mean, this is, like, kind of a frustrating platforming segment, but at the same time, we did have a checkpoint, so it doesn't really matter if we die here. Although, that was a little bit close. I want to kill the rats. As we've established, I am not a friend of rats. Skaven are not welcome in this stream. I'm sorry to tell you. If you are, you know, a humanoid rat man, like, please leave.
quick for brains.
It's kind of rude to say squick for brains with the squig in the building, right? This is double Gene Stealer now. They're mad that I killed their dad. So what would be like the ideal weapon for this? I feel like maybe just Volta, as boring as it is. Also, we can like chuck one of those because we have a ton of actual ammo crates in here. I was about to say, like, did we kill one? But he just retreated. Okay, he's actually dead. Oh man, I got bamboozled. I was looking at the dying animation and then he popped right out. Yep, we're very good. Could have used even more grenades apparently. Thought we didn't have that many ammo crates. I mean, hey, what could go wrong? Just walk up to the stack of barrels with a rotary saw like, hey man. My name is Gargaz and you're watching Jackass. Thankfully, fall damage apparently doesn't exist in this game, because otherwise I think it would be a very short one. Can I just like embed it in you? No. No. Turn this way, please. Come on, buddy. Yeah. Yeah, now you're getting it. There you go. Just get straight into your head. I love, you know, giving people ideas. Ideas about gigantic rocket spheres. Do you think we can also, like, embed this stuff in those guys if we get, like, perfect headshots? It's kind of hard to do when they're not even, like, facing towards you, I guess. No, apparently we can't. Or at least it's very finicky. But we can indeed kill them. Oh, you're standing at, like, the perfect spot, apparently. I'm wondering if we can actually, like, take him down. I don't think he's gonna take, like, blast damage to the shields. That would be kind of weird if he did, but hey, maybe he does. You're just, like, stacking fucking spears on his shield. Yeah, like, I don't think this fight should be this long. Maybe he did take some damage, but clearly not enough. This is only snipers, I think, from what I remember. This is the Rattling Auxilia, the last assault of the Rattling Auxilia in, like, any meaningful number. We still, like, have a bunch of snipers left in the game after this, though. So realistically, you know, there's gonna be some stragglers, but this is the last coordinated attack that they do. Hey, buddy, what you doing up there? I see you, like, just creeping. Don't think you're hot shit. I see you. Yeah, this was something I wanted to, like, you know, do a bet on before, but I don't think they have the damage to kill each other. It just takes so extremely long. Last time we waited like 2 minutes and nothing happened. We can, like, clear the trash, basically, to ensure that it's a fair fight. It's kind of hard because they keep going in with, like, fucking bayonet charges. Oh, maybe we can get this guy now. Okay, so my money is still... You know what? I'm gonna go with the Ogren, actually. Like, look at him. Look at him. He's got kind of beefier muscles. I think his arms are a little bit wider. And, like, actually there's blood splatter. So I believe that they are indeed taking damage. Plus, you know, the Ogren has a rebreather. I mean, you know, he's got proper... Well, maybe not proper. Maybe there's, like, some fucking chemicals in there. You never know. Maybe he's juiced. Maybe he's goated with the sauce. Maybe I'm just bored of this. I guess it's a draw. It's a draw. Nobody wins. Maybe I win because they're both dead. I wanted to check if the shields tend to go down pretty fast with this stuff, huh? Spears are apparently very good against the shields. I'm looking forward to the Imperial Night fight. It's a night fight. You gotta fight for your life. Night fight. You gotta fight with the night. Night fight. A really, really big night. 'Cause I'm a crazy son of a bitch. I'ma stomp you. What would be a sound effect for a stomp? I guess squish squish? Yeah, that works. Squish squish. In a night fight. Although if it's a fight between knights, I don't think there's a lot of stompage going on. Do we actually need that? We don't. I always go in that little like hole, but I don't have a reason to really go there. We have max grenades, so we're just gonna leave it.
Take it down!
Take him down. Oh, there's a commissar right there, huh? I love the sound of the explosive like spear. It's so cool. When it actually blows up, it makes like a sick sound. I like how they're just too busy finding each other to notice like a man just relentlessly chucking explosive spears at them. Your animations are so slow, buddy. I hate to be the one to tell you, but I don't think you're gonna make the cut. You seem a little on the slow side. Yep. I feel like you could have done more for the Emperor. Let's just put it that way. That's all I'll say. I don't want to insult you any further. Let's get into the Administratum building and just, you know, wreak a bunch of havoc. It's all about that mayhem. My man with the knife could like tank it with the best of them. Apparently, he didn't care that he got like, you know, hit in the face by like a spear 3 times, 3 separate occasions. What's his like skincare routine? Apparently his like facial area is the same fucking like durability as actual armor. It's like fucking Carapace armor. Gives a whole new like definition to my face as my shield. It actually is just a rocket against like shields apparently. Is he dead? Yep, he's dead. I can't see in there, man. I guess he wanted some privacy. He wanted to die alone. I believe it was, you know, Donnie Darko that said, well, in the movie, it is said that every living creature on this planet dies alone. And, you know, I personally had that quote framed right below my Linkin Park poster back in my old room, so does nobody see how fucked up that is? I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm trying to be cringe, like extra cringe. I'm pretty cringe on, like, you know, the best of days, let alone when I put some effort into it. So why did that one, like, bounce? The inconsistency. We can just kind of juggle him, though, which is neat. Oh, I didn't really mean to do that. Just, you know, pre-fire like a champion. Just play the game like it's CSGO. That's the secret. Okie doke. I think we have some lads coming. Yep, we do indeed. I was gonna abuse the door more, but I don't think I can abuse it any more than that. Poor guys. Man, like even the fucking Jehovah's Witnesses get treated better than this. At least those guys are just politely told to fuck off. They don't get like 58 spears to the face. I think. I don't know. I usually just try to avoid them. The all-seeing Emperor is watching. I mean, you got that right. The Emperor is always watching, but like, still not as cool as Gorg and Mork, though. Gorg and Mork are not only watching, they're also, like, fighting. And rooting for you. They want you to succeed in, like, beating the shit out of your enemies. And that's pretty nice, if you ask me. They just want to give you the strength to be able to kill everything that opposes you.
Who's the boss now?
Who's the boss now? Apparently not that guy. He got owned pretty hard. Same with that lad, huh? Sir, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to stop living. Your life privileges have been revoked. Yeah, this is one of those yeety boys. He like self-yeets. Can you imagine self-yeeting? Sounds kind of dirty when I put it like that, huh? Once again, I think we can kind of abuse the spears in this like space. Yep. The knockback is maybe the best part of them so far. They also just like mess up the attack patterns of all the dudes trying to kill us, which is not half bad by itself. I never noticed how like Dancy, you know, trying to crouch down but not like holding the button down looks. I got the movement apparently. yeah, this fight. I ended that guy's life surprisingly fast, huh? Does the Commissar know that, you know, the rocket spears are not like friendly? I guess he didn't know. He must have thought I was like a support weapon team or something. Am I like hitting the squigs with that? Because sometimes it genuinely looks like I am. Sometimes they like move around a little bit and it seems like I'm hitting them. I love those explosion sounds. I'm a sucker for explosions. Can you tell that in like the Borderlands games I was a big fan of Torg? I wonder what gave it away. I wanted to interrupt his like charge attack, but I guess I didn't manage that time. We're gonna get to that room a little later, I feel. Like right now, if we so desire. I guess we should have been using more grenades, because once again we're just leaving like ammo crates behind. Just leaving grenades on the table. That's a messed up fight. Like, you know, pick on somebody your own size. And I don't mean me. I mean anybody that is your size, like an aberrant or something. Maybe you could have fought the Patriarch instead of, like, fucking standing up here. What even is this room? Report all suspicious activity in your area, or receive punishment. What if people are into that, though? I don't think the Imperium considered that is the thing. Like, masochists probably really love the fucking Imperium, man. The Imperium, as they say. Thank you for opening the door, by the way. That made it very convenient to do that. Imagine deliberately, like, failing your duties just so you can be like, oh yes, please punish me, Mr. Commissar. Please, yes. Yes, just punish me, Daddy, for the Emperor. I'm pretty sure, like, if you behave like that, they just kill you on the spot. Which, again, maybe you're into, I don't know. Are people into, like, you know, sexually into, like, dying? Like, just getting killed? Because I feel like it's kind of a fucked up fetish. You really only get to experience it once, right? Or maybe they like the near-death experience. I don't know these things, man. I'm just asking questions that maybe it's better if I don't know the answer to. Can't remember if there was, like, Teef in here or not. It's been so long. That is, like, the one downside of, you know, the Teef not, like, respawning. On the flip side, though, you don't have to, like, keep getting the same, like, couple of chests. Apparently we're still missing quite a bit, because I haven't been checking. If we get to the next checkpoint, I'll check how much Teef we're on, but I think I calculated it the last time I was playing, and I still was missing, like, 700 or something, which is really too much to just be, like, a few secrets. And I believe the Teef are, like, considered... Bro, that was, like, sick, but also led to my immediate death. That looked like something you would do in a fucking Tony Hawk, like, Pro Skater game. Like, amazing, but at the same time, it killed me. It actually killed me. My existence was ended that day. If I have to go, though, like, that's the way I want to go, man. Bounce a rocket spear off of a bunch of barrels, and then get knocked back into those barrels, and then explode into, like, a million chunks. My man really doesn't care about the fire, it looks like. Yeah, we'll just, like, blitz through his shields. Seems like the rockets are good for that, if nothing else. Yeah, let me check something real quick. Oh yeah, we have to, yeah, you do the actual mech shop. 225, I mean, that's like one hat, isn't it? Do they have something for 250, or did we buy all of those? Maybe they didn't have any 250s. So we could get either one or two. We could get the target hat for 200. I feel like, you know, there's just enough Teef in the game for you to get everything. That's like what I feel like, but let's get the glasses, and also let's get the simple helmet. Yeah, so that leaves us with like 100, 200, 400, 600, 750, 850, so 1,050 in total that we need, and we got like 25 right now. That's a lot. That's actually a lot. That seems like even more than before. I can't help but feel. Give me but a moment, though. Let me take a quick bathroom break. I'm not gonna like put on any music because we have music in the background. I'll probably just like turn it up. So just a moment and I'll be back. Let me repeat that while I lower the volume. I have indeed returned. Can you imagine, like, having the game sound on 100 on that? That sounds crazy, bro. It's so loud. That's not for me. That's not what I want. Alrighty. We had to take care of a biological function. Very cringe. Let's do rockets. Oh, he was just standing there. I was gonna say, I see the health bar. Although, you know what? You know what? Can we embed? No, that bounces. It, like, barely deals any damage to him, apparently. I feel like that's bullshit. My man is like a vehicle. The Emperor judges me? Well, I judge the Emperor, so that makes two of us, I guess. Hardest boss fight, apparently. Actually hardest boss fight, man. I'm like too scared to shoot because we have self-damage. Even that was like too close. Well, thank God. Thank Gork and Mork for that health. Let me just immediately waste it all. Bro, like, come on now. I can't, like, embed stuff into a Sentinel? What's the deal with that? You tell me that, like, a Baneblade is fair game, but not a Sentinel? Like, come on now. That's so silly. Fine, I guess I'll just, like, play the game in the regular, boring way, whatever. I didn't want to have fun anyway. To be honest, I still think that the Bolta is most likely, like, the weapon we want to use, because it's just such high damage. We just, like, should focus on dodging as much as possible. He says as he does not focus on dodging and takes a bunch of, like, dumb damage. Yep, there we go. Turns out if you just play the game like you're intended, it's a lot easier to get through these things. Incredible. But this is what I mean, you see, that was a boss that just, like, spawns in. He doesn't have a cutscene associated with him or anything, and therefore we had, like, no issue actually fighting him. We didn't have a crash or anything. Oh, that's like actual, like, cover, huh? My man is coming in for the bayonet charge, dude. Oh, I kind of feel bad for that group of Tempestus Scions, man. They got completely owned. As did that guy, apparently. But I guess it makes sense. We do be owning everybody and everything. Might as well get the mounted guns. We haven't been, like, doing that so much, but they are fun to use. Yeah, well, yeah, you're taking 2 shots. Wow, you're a toughie. This is a fucking heavy bolter, my man. Have some respect. It's the holy bolter. Like, a Tempestus Scion, I'm like, sure, you can take, like, a couple shots. You're a tough boy with some additional training and some really good armor. But, like, come on, regular schmucks? What's up with that? Oh, shit. The Space Marines are already here. Well, I say Space Marines, but it's actually just one guy. Kind of wanted to get him with the last cannon, but I guess we have it for later. Maybe we can use it on his friend. How many shots does this take? It's been like, what, 4? Okay, you're kind of tough. I get it. You're a tough motherfucker. I don't think we have any reason to do the big ol' secret there. At least the regular guys have, like, the decency to die in a single hit. Yeah, we got that boat. There we go. Okie dokie. There is a grenade up there, which I guess we could attempt to get. Did we actually need the Stormbar for the stuff that I did before? I can't believe it if we did. No, you just gotta, like, get good with the jumps. This is, like, the only thing I want to grab, basically, up top here. Normally, if you go even further back, there's like a secret little chest of teeth that you can only access from there. It might actually be 2, now that I remember it, because I think there's also one at the top there. He's, like, charging, man. He's coming in. Wasting no time. Well, I guess he was in a hurry to die, though. It's even more Tempestus Scions. Can we embed the spear in? No. I wish the spear would just get, like, you know, embedded into everything and everyone. But then I also think I would never use anything other than the spear, so maybe it's for the best that it doesn't work that way. Because this way we at least, like, use some of the guns. Not all of them, but some of them. I do need that health. We can like tag this guy from over here. Just give him a quick little spear. Kind of could have timed that reload better, I think, but it's all good. I do think that it's kind of nice that they went to all the effort. I mean, it's probably not like super difficult to code, but it's kind of nice that, you know, the music like recedes and you get like a more chill version of it if there's no enemies on the screen. I think I mentioned it before, but the only game that I know of that kind of does that is like Serious Sam BFE. The soundtrack is like super lengthy as a consequence, because I think every zone actually has like 3 separate songs for it. You have one where it's just like ambience, like, you know, you're just walking around, minding your own business, exploring, trying to get secrets. And then there's like a more upbeat version of the song, higher BPM, when you're fighting stuff. And I think for like, not really boss fights, but horde events, you know, well, not explicitly the times when there's a guy that shouts like, "War!" That's always fun, by the way. That's like a trademark Serious Sam thing. But they have separate songs for that. But for similar events, when, you know, things are getting a little crazy, you also do get like an even more high BPM song, basically. We got like another commander over there. Let's just like get through the shield real quick. I think he's still got the shield going. He's just like actually running away, man. No, he's come back, but he also like recharged his shield, which is very rude. Do you want to like come out of there, buddy? I don't want to like fight you in some fucking sewer. I can't chuck spears at you like this, man. That's unfair. Okay, fine. I'll just shoot you, I guess. You've left me no choice. I kind of want to save my wah for the inevitable Space Marine assault that we're about to experience. This like section of the game is like pretty formulaic. You go into a room, you know, there's like little cables from the ceiling hanging down. You know that it's gonna be Tempestus. The Tempestus usually come in like pairs or maybe triplets, and then usually there's like a heavy weapon guy with a plasma gun. And after that, there's often like a follow-up of Space Marines. I guess no Marines that time, but it doesn't change the fact that usually they do come at you right after the Tempestus. I mean, I feel honored, to be honest. I'm just a regular little Beast-snagga boy, and we're getting, like, Space Marine interventions over here. We're able to get that, lad. I can't remember if it's, like, possible to... I assume it is actually possible to get that if you really, like, nail the jump. I don't know if we really care, but I'm gonna try, because I don't think we have tried to get it before. Yep, you just gotta, like, get the jump right, basically. I guess I'll be taking my reward, then. And also some health is nice. This is another, like, secret, in case you're gonna play the game yourself. If you jump up here, there's, like, a little, you know, chest of teeth up here. I remember that because I got it through the, throughout, like, the last stream. Get out of the bathroom. And fight. Come on, now. I like how he ran back to take a shit. He's like, no, I'm still not done. My duty, get it? Duty? My duty for the Emperor is still not done. Oh man, that cracked me up. I'll be here all night, thank you. You're a wonderful crowd. I don't even know why we're going there. I guess to, you know, like, get full healed. We were only at 98% health. I feel like I jumped to a location I didn't really mean to go to. Can't tell if he was throwing a grenade there or if he was like actually just, you know, friendly, like hitting his friends. Friendly firing him with a melee weapon. Just making sure everybody's nice and disciplined, I guess. Usually it's the commissars that are, you know, doing the team killing. That's the meme. And I mean, that's the official rules as well, to be honest. Like, it's not exactly without its foundation. Commissars do be team killing a lot, as it turns out. Alright, let's go. I think it's chaplain time. But we gotta open the actual door here to get that. I'm gonna leave those crates for the time being. Yeah, it is like good old double Space Marine. Hey, do you think we can... Oh, is this like also like... Does it also like bounce the stuff, or did I just hit something I wasn't supposed to? So apparently... If you don't hit him right, the Space Marines like bounce your spear from the looks of it. It's kind of weird. I wish I understood like what determines whether or not, you know, something takes the damage, gets skewered, or just like bounces the thing, because it's very inconsistent. The Baneblade just gets, I guess it's an early game boss though, I'm kind of like LARPing on it, but, well, harping on it if anything, but it's still a little bit weird. You know what, I won't break that this time. And once again, there's no crash here, because, you know, they just like load in, there's no cutscene. Hey, can you like stand in the explosion? Thank you, you're so nice. And sometimes it just pierces, it makes no sense, buddy, like, I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe you should like try to take out the regular Space Marines, because we're taking a lot of damage from them. We got like proper Beaky kill apparently, so you know there is like something nice about redoing these sections. Do want that health. Okay, so he's apparently gone. Never took out the snipers, huh? Even though they're like one shot. Kind of rude of me, I suppose. And we are still full on grenades. Okay. We could probably be using our resources, like, more efficiently, I feel like, because we leave a lot on the table. That's like a recurring thing. I do want that checkpoint, like, please sir, let me get the checkpoint. You can kill me after, it's totally fine. Although I don't think regular guardsmen are going to be the ones killing me. There's more dedicated people, such as that there commissar, that have a higher chance of dealing like a fair bit of damage to me. Might be a waste, but I just felt like deploying the wall there, because I think by the end of this we will have another full bar anyway. So I don't think we have to worry about like, oh god, will we have enough like wah juice? I think we'll be just a-okay, considering we gotta kill like 28 people in this room alone. And I mean, you see, we're on the right track. We already got it back. Maybe that like changes when you play like hard mode. Maybe the wah generation is also shifted a little. I think I mentioned this before, like and you can see like I still die even on normal every now and then because I don't pay that much attention. But like I'm not that much of like a challenge gamer at the end of the day. I enjoy a challenge, I think everybody does, but I also like being like nice and comfy. Why don't you have a squig? Okay, we finally like killed one of them. This guy just jumping around is a little annoying. I also would have liked it better if we actually killed this guy first, because his range attacks are significantly more damaging than the other guys, which makes sense. He's got a rifle, the other guy had a pistol. Really, we didn't get any health. Oh no, we did. Okay, I was about to say, like, usually you get like a squig almost every minute. Alrighty. I mean, we're breezing through it for the most part. I do think we're overall doing like a slower playthrough right now, because we fooled around a lot in the beginning. That's not a great place for you to sit, but hey, you know, you do you. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, I'm just saying you're gonna die. I think we're doing like a little bit more meticulous of a playthrough, because instead of just like going full ham with it, like we kind of did with the Storm Boy, with the dashes, we're just like, you know, using the spears more, and it inadvertently takes like a little bit more time compared to just regular shooting, because you have to do more inputs. Well, you don't have to, but I do more inputs on this character. If I had to pick like a favorite character, to be honest, I would probably say Storm Boy so far, because the actual burning dash is really fun to use. And it helps with some of the most annoying enemies, because the boss fights are very bespoke in this game. Like, it feels, you know, deliberately designed. You get, like, that sensation of, like, yeah, like, I'm meant to fight this boss with X weapon. It's fairly logical. The big, like, tanks and vehicles, you generally want to, like, bust out the explosive weapons for. So I guess the AI on the commanders, if you break down their shield, they run away to have it recharged. You see, that's, like, kind of neat. That we see, like, those tendencies, those patterns, and then we figure it out. But what I mean is, like, this character, I think, excels at some of the boss fights, because so far, every single loading screen boss has had at least one phase or one aspect that was really weak to the skewering, like, rocket spears that we have. You either embed it into them, or they just, like, you know, in the case of the Patriarch, their shield damage is insane. It looked like we kind of embedded, like, the spear in that guy. Again, I'm confused, because normally you can't do it with basic enemies. But either way, so I feel like this guy is ideal for the boss fights, but you don't really need help with the boss fights, it feels like. But generally speaking, it's more that the horde events can tire you out because of the chip damage. You know, it adds up basically every little hit you take, and you take a lot of hits when there's like 50 enemies on the screen, as it turns out. So for that reason, I would maybe say that from just a purely gameplay perspective, I would argue that probably the best is Stormboy, because Stormboy is like the best against, you know, the basic dudes. There's so many things you can just kill with a dash. I think up to ratlings, like these little sniper guys that we've been dealing with, you just do like one dash attack and they're basically dealt with, which is insanely good. Same deal with like guardsmen, who otherwise can deal some damage to you. It's not like particularly deadly, but it's good to avoid it anyway. The Flash Kid is fun, but I feel like he's the least interesting out of the bunch. It's just that, as far as I saw when I was playing as him, sometimes you shoot extra projectiles. And, you know, if you get super lucky, then like, you get some insane, like, ridiculous stuff, like shooting up to 5 rockets in one go. I'm thinking, do I want to change my loadout? Kind of happy to have a melee weapon. I like this rocket launcher. This is probably my favorite shotgun. The Zap Stick. Burn Stick, Double Barrel Boomstick. No, I like the Zap Stick. I like the Zap Stick the most. Is there anything else? That's just a regular Shooter. It's a very accurate Snaz gun. I don't like the Snaz gun too much. Okay, I think our loadout is not exactly set in stone, but we kind of figured out something that we like, so I'm not gonna like kid that yet. Again, we're gonna have a boss fight here, but it's not a loading screen boss. I think we'll be fine. And before we get to him, we gotta do like a couple waves. It's like a gauntlet. Kind of want to wait to have the dudes pile up a little before we you know, trigger the barrel there. I mean, we're inadvertently going to hit it, so I guess we might as well just press it now. I'm gonna just forget about it, or worse, I'll trigger it when I'm like standing next to it and take a bunch of damage. So many snipers, man. Flash Militarum, oops, all snipers edition? That's what it feels like sometimes. Alrighty, I mean, that didn't go too bad. I guess I could have used the wad, to be honest, because we're, again, likely to build it up by the time we need it. I think if we encounter heavier enemies, though, like Ogrins or anything, I'll probably, like, you know, trigger it. And case in point, this guy is not the toughest, but I would like to down him as fast as possible, and that felt good. There's an argument to be made that we should have kept it against this guy, but, I mean, he didn't last that long, and this guy is a joke. It's also so weird to me, like, he's a Bulgrin, right? So he's maybe not slightly smarter, they just get, like, different gear for the most part, but, they appear, like, 3 times total in the whole game. I think this is, like, the second, and we're gonna have, like, a third, or maybe this is already the third. We don't see a lot of these guys. But I guess, now that I'm actually thinking about it, with the Ogrins, the guy with the shotgun-looking thing, we also only had, like, 2 of those. This is, like, the second one. Really, some enemies are really rare. Also, Ogrins also don't have, like, an achievement associated with them, interestingly enough. I'm just gonna go for the Space Marine, because he's got, like, a bolt rifle, which is very, very high damage, apparently. At least in this game, it is fucking me up. Although the 2 plasma gunners are also really mean, and by 2 I mean 3. But they have a lot less health than a Marine, for obvious reasons. Man, I'm getting, like, slightly owned over here. Could I get some health? I guess I have to, like, trigger the thing for it to pop out. It's a little annoying, and then you can't jump when you're on the elevator, so you gotta wait for the thing to come all the way down. Is it time? Yeah, it is time for the Invictor. Gotta be careful, he's not exactly... I've never seen him do that attack. I'm not really sure what that was. I feel like that's like a bad idea, the Squig, but I wanted to deploy it anyway. I guess he has like an invincibility phase. Yeah, I guess I can't like touch his health when he's doing that. It's kind of interesting that we still see some new attacks from dudes in this game. Like, we played through the game so many times, and I don't remember that guy triggering a shield. Also, they don't have like power shields. in the actual game. Just as a heads up, those guys are not at all that special. They're just a tactical warsuit. They're like a regular Space Marine, and I know it sounds weird because you saw the size of that giant walker, but it is considered a reconnaissance vehicle, basically. Yes, it is as like surreal as it sounds. And no, it belches smoke and it stomps around, and apparently it's very stealthy. Look, I don't know all the answers. Friends and I were joking around when that thing came out that the way that stealth works is the Space Marine, when you spot him, shouts at you like, "You don't see me." And when you're staring down the barrel of either an autocannon, like a twin autocannon, or even worse, a giant flamer, a power fist, and like a heavy bolter pistol, plus a Space Marine. So even if you take down the warsuit, there's still like an actual Marine in there, probably with some weapons, like some grenades and stuff. And if you get told, like, "You don't see me," I would be like, "Yeah, no, I don't see you. Like, it's fine, it's fine. Just go on your day, just spare me. Go kill my comrades. I just want to live, man. Like, this is just a job for me, dude. I'm not getting paid that much. I'm not getting paid enough to fucking deal with this Invictor Tactical Warsuit, right?" I feel bad for that, Rattling. Let me just be the first to say. But the Elven Bodyguards, man, there's a fair few of these guys. They're also, like, the strongest design-wise. They look, like, pretty sick. Are there just more snipers, or is it just me? They keep popping up, and that man apparently is just hippity-hopping. I do want that last cannon. Maybe not badly, but I want it, though, for sure. I think I like the last cannon the most out of all the mounted weapons that you can pick up. It seems to be like the coolest, like ridiculously accurate, very high damage, has like a damage of time effect associated with it. It's pretty good. I'm also just now noticing that the grenade indicator is different for every single like perk. You'd think I would know, but clearly I'm an idiot. No plasma gun. I also like how we like just, you know, have the last cannon underneath, like, in our armpit, basically. We're not even bothering with the shoulder mounted. We're strong enough. Best cutscene incoming, by the way. Strap in, boys.
Soggy neck. That's a big Tim boy. Attention, Orc! You face Lord Horik Canorum, son of High King Valeric Canorum, High Prince of House Canorum, Master of the Blade of Gaia, Keeper of the Gates of Loralo, Wielder of the Caloric Flame, Bringer of Hope, Herald of the Holy Order of the Adamantine Lance, the Paladin of Koto, Slayer of the Lion of Essa, the Triumphant, the Light of Stars, the Eradicator.
The fucking entire screen taken up by that.
You what? I am Lord Horik Canorum, son of High... Whatever.
Actual NPC, you know, you like press E on him again and he's immediately just like spouting the same video game lines. The best part is about all of that is that's kind of how Imperial Knights actually work in the lore. And it's one of the reasons why they really want to like go away from the local, well, not even the local court, but their court basically. Because apparently, at least with one of the houses, you're gonna do the other attack. There's at least like one Imperial Knight house where every single day they have to do the ritual of the names, which is exactly what you just saw, except every single noble gets announced like that. You have to understand that like your average noble court probably has like hundreds of these motherfuckers in it. And like it takes the better part of a day to go through all the titles everyone has, and every time they go to war, they get more titles, as you just saw, because like anytime you do something, anything remotely cool, you get a fucking title for it. So one of the big reasons the nobles like going to war is because the ceremonies don't get held in like war times. In the war zones, at least. Yeah, I can use the actual crates to dodge that. I've learned that, I think, during the previous stream. So basically, like, they do that towards each other, like, every day. And so they really fucking hate it. Everyone's really bored to shit by always hearing how awesome everyone else is. And one of the big motivating factors to actually go like into a war zone is like, I at least don't have to listen to fucking Jeffrey's 58 goddamn titles again for like the umpteenth time. God damn it, Jerry, like I get it, you fucking did one cool thing, like now you fucking can't shut up about it. The only thing I wish that this boss fight had is instead of saying Lord Harrick, it would have just said like, literally who. I know it's very memey, but it would actually improve it. It was just like, who? Like, who are you again? I forgot. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah, probably getting hit by that was not exactly the smartest of plays. It's kind of nice that you can stand behind the crate, even if it's like taking up most of the space on one of those platforms. Yoink. The harpoon is not like actually a harpoon in terms of mechanics, and that's very, very nice for me. Gotta wide up. The wall actually reloads your gun, so that's like something to keep in mind too. Yeah, but this is like actually a joke of a boss fight, as you can see. He is not exactly the toughest. He has probably like one of the longest cutscenes in the whole game, but he's a pushover.
Cool, what a fancy bomber. Look at all that DAKKA. Oh yeah, that'll do nicely. Ah. In I goes. Ah, sockets, this ain't the front end.
It's not the front end.
Oh, me head. Aha, here it is. Ooh, that is a lot of buttons, ain't it? Now then, what does this one do? Alright then, so now I grabs this stick. And, maybe this one.
I never noticed before that, you know, actually starts the radio and it's playing an orc song too.
No, not that one. Oh, aha! This must be the right one.
You see, that's just orc ingenuity right there. Like, it's a fucking Thunderhawk gunship, but we figure it out in mere seconds. Ignore the part where we don't know which part of it is the front, actually. Just, you know, ignore that.
Uh-oh, that ain't good.
Look, it's perfect. It's the perfect landing job.
You should have been blue.
Kind of good that, you know, we didn't get that self-damage right there. Bro, even the Gretchen take like 2 shots here for the spears. I don't think we're gonna be chucking a lot of these going forward. Yeah, I think it's gonna clock. For this part, I really tend to like the zap stick the most because again, it's a fairly enclosed space, so we can just kind of use it like a Borderlands 2 conference call shotgun. If you're familiar, it just like hits everything basically. It bounces off the skybox in that game. And I mean, the description of it is very apt. Like, let's just ping everybody all at once. This is basically the same thing, but instead of shotgun pellets, you're using, you know, laser beams, which arguably might even be cooler in the grand scheme of things. And it has like such high damage compared to a lot of other guns. Like, look at that. That guy's already dead, and we didn't even see him. He wasn't on the screen, but apparently we don't need them to be on the screen. It's just enough for them to exist in the same, like, zip code, I guess. I think there's a mosquito in here with me, which is very surprising, because it's getting fairly cold, but I guess it has been more like wet weather recently, so they've had a chance to actually breed. Probably gonna get bitten while I'm too busy orking it up. The price you pay for Shootas blood and Teef. I guess, you know, the mosquito's only interested in the blood part of it. I wish you could skewer the knobs, but I guess you can't. Let's just, like, trim the fat here, get rid of all the small stuff. Separate the wheat from the chaff, if you will, and then we can go to town on the big lad. Let's see. Let's give him a few rockets. I think he'll love those. Come on, buddy. You're about to go down, I can tell. You're getting mighty tired. You see, he was getting mighty tired. We do have the wah available, so we're probably going to use that. Maybe even in this section, I'm not sure yet. Once again, I'll just focus on the small guys first. Although we might get like a double like knob fight then if we get here, but apparently not. Really? You survived that barrage? Wow, you're a tanky piece of shit. I never noticed before that like a dev cop that drops this guy off. I thought, you know, he was just like there basically, but we never like moved that far ahead previously. Apparently we're outranging him with our rockets, so this makes like this fight particularly easy. Yep, okay, I mean that felt a little cheap, but hey man. A dub is a dub, as they say nowadays. Once again, I'm just gonna choose to focus on the small lads first, and eventually, you know, move our way up to the boss. Apparently there's nothing that way yet, which I don't mind so much. This is actually like the final segment of the whole game. So we're coming right up on the boss fight. Well, I say right up, but there's probably still like an hour's worth of fighting to do. But it's all pretty like fun, you know, doing it on a spaceship. There's some like zero-G environments, and this probably has like some of the nicest set pieces in the whole game. The ship actually. There's like an armory kind of location later on, right before you end up triggering like the final cutscene that leads into the boss fight. And they did a lot of like nice little detail, like very detailed stuff there. You got all sorts of like looted objects from various races in Warhammer 40k. So it's a lot of fun. I think it's one of my favorite spots in the whole game. We do have to fight for our life now. You know what? Let's just like go ham. If they spawn, they die basically with all the laser beams that we just fired. I mean, maybe we should have waited though, because we're getting a lot more Shoota and Boomstick boys now, but I can't help but feel that we'll be fine, considering like anything that is on the screen is taking damage and getting burned alive. Yep, there you go. Everything's burning. Do the Bernie dance. We'd have to deal with that guy, but once again, we do have the Ra available, so we can just drop like a small, almost nuclear payload on him, basically. If I look at my arms, it's because I feel like maybe there's the mosquito, and I'm trying to like catch it in the act and slay it. But I think he's already had his fill probably, while I was, you know, not paying that much attention. I guess we could have also used some grenades, because there's like at least one ammo crate coming up here. The man has like a MAC-10 looking gun, dude. I don't want to just like trigger it for this fight though. It's just a bunch of small little gentlemen. It's okay, but they're not really a threat. I like how there's a sign that says no squig area, but we just had a squig there. I think this is also like fairly good with the Wah. Doesn't seem to do like more damage than the rockets. I was gonna say like it's probably about to die regardless, but so they just like spawned there. I wanted to check if maybe there was like a collectible there that we missed, because I still found like some random collectibles before in places where I felt like I definitely explored it, but I guess I just didn't pay that much attention. But yeah, this is where we get introduced to like the zero-G areas, like up ahead here. You kind of like have to manipulate your jumps a little bit, and I think if you're out here too long, you just actually die. Is the thing that you gotta be careful with. There's also gonna be a lot of these like light traps, if you will, zappy traps. I always take, you know, the I need to like actually stay crouched. I always take like the bottom path here. Oh yeah, we gotta like jump up there. The problem is I might die because I'm so low health right now. Thankfully we didn't like get hit by that one. Okay, sneaking on through. Still might die, which is awkward, but what can you do? Should have avoided dumb damage, really, is the main thing. I guess we got like a checkpoint right here, so I think we're fine. It does mean we have to wait through a loading screen, but I think we can do that. We're patient enough. Oh wait, actually, like if you reach this, it treats it as if you have done that. Interesting. It seems like really the only thing you lose when you actually like run out of health is your current like wah. You even keep the grenades. So unless you really needed the wah at that particular moment, dying is never really like a major setback from what it seems like. I didn't actually even need that health right then. I was solely under the impression that I was like still kind of dying, but I forgot that we died and respawned. Although this is like kind of a, you know, a 4D part, so we might need that health soonish. This is like another one of those jumping puzzles that thankfully we did last time. I was postponing it for the longest time. I totally thought initially that when I was gonna go like play through this game, I would have to, you know, with Stormboy, he would be the ideal choice for the jumping puzzles because he has a rocket pack. So I foolishly thought that I would need that for some of the puzzles, such as that one up there. But he actually has a fiery dash, so it's more of a combat skill rather than like a utility ability. There's nothing wrong with that, but you know, I never really gave these jumping puzzles my best shot before as a consequence. But then after we did get them, like, they weren't as hard as I thought they would be. And I'm thankful for that, because I don't mind jumping puzzles in games if they're, like, relatively well executed, but sometimes they can be kind of a handful. Oh, we gotta, like... Did we ever, like, get anything down here? I can't remember. I doubt it, because there's plenty of Teef in this zone. I just mentioned the jumping puzzle, and this is like another jumpy bit that we had to do, but I don't even remember how we actually did it, because yeah, you can like jump up here, and then there was something I think up top there. But as you can see, you only need to do like you only need to collect each container of Teef basically one time, thankfully, which is kind of neat. And I mean, you get like plenty of resources to unlock all the guns. I guess instead of unlocking the guns, I just could have focused on getting like all the hats, because that's a separate achievement, but they're kind of like mutually exclusive, you know? Like you technically get access to both achievements, so I'm gonna just like use the wah for this, just to delete all the small guys, preferably. And then after that, maybe we can build a second wah and actually like down the big knobs over there. Yes, that is like their actual official name, so I'm not like just calling them, you know, British, awful things, like obscenities, but it is funny. The man is like really up in my face, huh? I feel like they're about to go down. Yep, wouldn't you know it. That's how that works. We did like deal a ton of damage to him, so it only makes sense. I will say this game like stun locks me a fair bit. You know, like I feel like I gotta talk about the game more than anything. Even though I think Killing Floor is maybe like a more involved title in general. You have like a lot more going on. I can play it like a lot more mindlessly because of the hours I've put in. And also a lot of the super deep mechanics of Killing Floor is stuff where if you get good enough with them, you're basically just kind of Gucci, I suppose, you know? You don't have to think about it every time. Like, if you're playing Berserker, once you figure out how the directional melee works, you're not really, like, racking your brain about it any further. It's kind of like riding a bike. You figure it out once, and you're like, alright, I see how this works now. Get that health. It's pretty important. But I also think, like, visually speaking, this game is a little bit more interesting than something like Killing Floor. Just a smidge, I would say. This is also another like jumpy puzzle up here. And the worst part is I couldn't explain it. Like, there's like Teef up there in the corner. I couldn't explain to you how you get it. I got it, but I don't know how. I'm not really sure how we pulled it off in the end. I guess you just have to like try until you actually succeed. They also changed this part from what I remember, because I remember this being like a zone where you could actually go through all the lads, but during my last playthrough I noticed that they just keep on coming. I don't know if there's any like reason for us to go down. Apparently not. We can just like fight our way through here. Yeah, that's the spot that we actually have to go to. Stop, I need to interact with something in the map. Okay, I think we have enough time to do this now. Yeah, I think they changed this to like a gauntlet type event where they just keep on coming, at least in like the initial zone. I guess if you wanted to, you could use this to like farm Gretchen kills, but I don't see why you would. It doesn't like matter, unless you still don't have that one achievement, but I think you just get it through normal play, even the 500 version of it. Oh, it's the kill a can. I should switch to the Bolta for this one. Also, let's give him 2 squigs. Eventually, those things will blow up and deal a ton of damage to him. Copium. Yep, there goes one. I mean, dude, that is actually a fair bit of damage. I mean, that was probably the cleanest we've done that fight, man. I also knew it was coming, obviously, so it's not that surprising. But still, it feels good. It feels good when, you know, you're improving. Even if it is at something fairly basic, such as this game. There's probably a ton of underlying mechanics that we're not understanding, and it leads to some of the weirder questions that I ask. We're like, oh, why do I skewer that guy? Why does it bounce? It probably makes sense if you know, like, what's going on, but I don't, is the thing. So we just, like, walk through here. There's another Kill-A-Can boss fight coming up, by the way, right here, in fact. But this time, we got a twofer. Let's do it, lads. I mean, we got, like, 2 squigs, exactly, for 2 cans. Oh, they actually divert the homing rockets. That's insane, man. They're considered, like, enemies for our enemies. Let me just, like, spam my rate of fire to high heaven. The homing rocket barrage is very, very scary, though. Alright, you got me. You got me with the little love tap there. I was gonna say that one of them has to be dead. Okay, we have, like, no health, but we did it in the end. I want the health, desperately. Let me out! Let me out! Yeah, so we're getting into the armory that I was talking about here, and, like, look at all the fucking stuff on the walls, man. It's so cool. You got, like, Sisters of Battle. I think it's the Celestians that have the shields, and I think those are the spears. But that's, like, the insane part. They have... I don't know if this is, like, they probably just pick the coolest looking stuff. But it leads to some really cool implications, because, like, for example, with the Celestians, or whatever that unit is called, it's only the unit leader that gets, like, the Spear of the Righteous or whatever that you see here, and there's 2 of them. So this means that, you know, they had to have killed, like, 2 separate squads just to get that shit. The Custodian armor is ridiculous. Like, how the fuck would this even be here? It's so insane. Like, the Last Talon / Last Cannon, the Giant Bolter, the Eldari weapons and stuff. It's all, the Icon of Chaos, it's all believable, but the fucking Custodian armor is like, bro, how? Like, how did you kill a Custodian? I mean, I know it happens in game, I've done it like a million times, but still, it's, the implication there is ridiculous, and I love it. The man just takes a lot to the face and doesn't care. He just keeps on coming. I mean, he's gonna go down eventually, right? I think he's about to go down. But I like the fact that they also, like, you know, looted the armor as, like, a trophy. That's pretty neat. And the other thing I keep harping on about is the fact that they actually added, like, the different colors for the Gauss weapons. Because the various dynasties of Necrons actually tend to have different colored, like, Gauss energy, basically. It's one of the few things that the Imperium is able to, like, identify about them. Because Necrons don't tend to communicate a lot towards the Imperium. They think it's beneath them. It's like, you know, would you talk to a cockroach? Like, would you try to have diplomacy with a cockroach? The only thing you probably say towards it as you're getting your bucks raised, like, well, you're about to die, little buddy. And that's basically the way the Necrons operate, too. But this is probably my favorite section in the whole game, like, visually speaking, for that reason. Because it just looks so cool. It absolutely, like, nailed the atmosphere. There's a ton of stuff on the wall. There's a ton of interesting designs, and it's all game-inspired. Like, a lot of these weapons on the wall, and all the armor, it's all, like, existing miniatures, actually. Like, actual bits, basically. And, I mean, some of it is ridiculous that it's here. Like, some of it is named character stuff, obviously. But at the same time, it's super cool that they added it. And they didn't have to. They could have just been like, yo, like, this is just the armory. We'll just put, like, some orc weapons on the wall. But the fact that it's also, like, a museum of all the looted shit that Gutrippa has is, well, Gutrekka, I think, is like, super neat. It's the little things, man. It's just the little things, but it's fairly cute, actually cool that they did that. You know what? We should probably, at least for the Gretchen, use the shotgun. And maybe keep the Bolta for the knobs, I'm thinking. Because this, like, deals with the small stuff so well. But there's gonna be, like, 5 or 7 knobs or something attacking here later. It's gonna get super crazy. The 2 of them are right there, by the way. I triggered it with the wrong weapon, basically, but maybe it'll work out. So let's just use, like, one of our grenades. I feel like we could have gotten, like, a little bit more out of that that particular grenade right there. It exploded like a random Gretchen. But whatever, man. Once again, let's use the zap stick instead. Well, that was a brief use of the zap stick. Oh yeah, this is gonna get, like, really ugly. I don't even know if this can, like, properly kill the guy, but apparently not. It was worth a shot. You know what? Take one of those. I insist. One of you has to be close to death, man. I feel like I've done, like, so much damage on and off to all of you. Please, like, just give me one of the gunners. Maybe give me the other 2. I don't want to, like, trigger the wah for it, but you know what? I will. We can, like, just distribute the damage on everybody, basically. I think his AI is broken for some reason. Can't, like, get out of that corner. I'm not gonna question it. I'm just happy to kill the man. It's kind of nice that they pair, like, you know, the big guys with the Gretchen. Look at all the squigs we have. How nice. They do give you a ton of health for this because it is, like, one of the harder fights in the game. This is a close second in terms of the set pieces in the game, though. This is really neat as well. Should have air dashed right there, but hey. So basically we have, like, I think one more horde event that's still relatively tough to fight after this. And, like, some unofficial ones like this one, where it's like, yeah, there's still, like, a knob, obviously, but, you know, we're in, like, the final stretch of the game. It makes sense we would fight all the big lads. All the people that are protecting, you know, Gutrekka. Ogre Gutrekka. We're coming for him and our hair squig, in case you forgot. To be honest, like, I feel like this is the one time that we wouldn't have any motivation to get the hair squig, because we got, like, a cooler hair squig. It's just a squig, doesn't have any hair, but you don't need hair when you got all the squig. Hair squigs are compromises, you know? Real men go either full hair or full squig, and I mean, we've made our bed and we're lying in it. We went full squig. We're just going full squig with this, apparently. Keep trying to find that mosquito. Maybe it's gonna leave me alone. Or maybe I'll, like, wake up with 15 bites tomorrow and be like, God damn it, man, I knew it. Apparently, we're gonna wreck it. Green is best, Bot Gutrekka rules, Bad Moon's Clan, Golf Clan stink, Bad Moon's rock, Green and mean. All wonderful things. Also, probably the only rocket-propelled elevator in video game history. Look how awesome that is. That's just heavy metal, man. That's just cool. That's pretty insane with it. You can't jump on elevators, otherwise I would be like jumping all over the place. There's only more than one horde event, because I forgot that this is also a horde event. So there's one thing that I forgot about with this thing. You can do this, and I don't know what is the point of doing that, other than it's fun. I haven't figured it out. I thought you would need it for a jumping puzzle, but you really don't. I guess you can like force them to fall backwards, and that makes it like easier to fight them. But you can just as easily do the fight without like triggering that, basically. It is kind of like cool to keep it going though. And it does make it a little bit easier to keep him at range, basically. Also, it's just funny to imagine us like yanking the controls as we're fighting for our life here. Yeah, let's just keep pressing it, man. When in doubt, just press the button. They can't really get to us, basically. This makes this fight like completely trivial, apparently. Yeah, there's also some teeth like up here, and you can like kill yourself by going out there. That's not the hot tip of the day. The teeth being there and the fact that you can just double jump to it is the hot tip of the day. So this is what the orcs call a teleporter. It's just a teleporter, but way, way shittier, basically. And they work a little bit weird compared to traditional teleportation technology in 40k. Because you generally don't want to get teleported, if at all possible, because it has a ton of danger associated with it. Because again, 40k is weird, and in order to teleport, they send you through hell, basically. Now, the orc technology might work a little differently, but it probably is the same, it's just a lot more ramshackle. So if you get to decide between how you're going to get teleported, you probably don't want to take the orc teleporter, is all I'm saying. Let's switch to the zap stick once again. Hands off, no pressing, leave, no touch. Don't mind if I do, buddy. So you're telling me you want it to be touched. You know, it's like, I can't resist. I'm so bad. I guess I should have done like a DD impression. You're like, what does this button do? I can't remember her voice when she does that, like how pitched it gets. I used to watch a ton of old Cartoon Network. I've said it before, but I think it's like half the reason my English turned out as good as it did. The other half is actually like having some, you know, like American teachers throughout high school, basically, and going to a bilingual high school that helped with the vocabulary for sure, at least with some of the professional parts of it. You know, if you can refer to like knowing certain professional, well, not even professional terms, but some like exact terms for various subjects. I like the Bolta for these guys. It might not be the highest damage, but it also has like the least risk associated with it. It's most comfortable to use. So we could like drop one of those quigs and have a good time, right? I think there's at least one like ammo crate that we can like still pick up. This isn't like the hard part of this gauntlet, by the way, because you were wondering. Like, we're gonna get some gunners, and then there's also a part where we get both at the same time, just like before. But we get significantly less health to just like mess around with. And you know, the traps make it a lot harder to just go where you please. Although that guy went down like a chump, apparently. You know what, I'll just give you a squig. You have fun with that one. I hope that it killed him. It didn't, but I was hoping that it did. I feel like them standing in the traps actually deals like a fair bit of damage to them. I wish it stunned them though. I kind of don't want to like trigger the last one, because I'm thinking we'll need it still. Maybe I'm wrong though. I thought that there was a segment here where they do like a big blitz attack. The generic, like, aircraft crash sound. Heard it in every other video game.
Oh, me head. Oof! Oi, watch it! There's boys down here!
Ogre Gut Wrecker, Stomp a War Boss.
Oh, you sogging, stupid little geek gargers! You gone and done it now! Look what you did to me cruiser!
I'm the git. Me? You give me back my squid, you sogging sogger!
They likes me now more than you anyways.
I fought a whole world to get that back. I'm gonna rip it right off your stupid pointy head.
Heist the Beast-snagga always has been. And uses for getting something get.
What?
I's got a stomper, ain't I?
Menacing laughter. He isn't wrong though. He does have a stompa, but then so do we. Look at that. We got a stompa of our own. Oh, we're in here. So previously, what I figured out for this part is you basically just want to like stick to the platforms up top here, because you can avoid like a lot of the enemies coming at you from here. You also get like basically the health drops almost instantly here. The one thing that's going to be a little annoying, and I'm curious if this helps. Wow, that does a shitload of damage to him apparently. I need that health. I got the health, but I took a ton of damage apparently. We can like take that out. You know what? We can use the spear to get him into his damaging like actual phase where he takes damage. Because you see, you get like his little like chest cavity opened, and then you just go ham. Although that shotgunner is giving us a lot of grief apparently. And that health came in handy right there. Don't want to get hit by the death cannon. That's the big cannon, in case you were wondering. I probably don't need to save my Wages for the damaging phases, but it feels nice to do that. Man, we are like getting eaten alive out here. Yeah, that's gonna kill us. I just apparently could not like explode it in time. We're gonna. I think we have to skip the cutscene. Oh no, it brings you back without the cutscene if you actually die. I guess that's something at least. It seems like though, like Spear is really good against this phase of his. I wonder if it's good against the actual like Stompa itself. I guess let's try it. No, it doesn't seem that great. Do you think that a squig, like a squig bomb, could do something here? I wonder. I guess the explosion is gonna get him there, but... Bro, like, shotgunners, man, they're fucking me up so good. I was gonna say, like, can you drop the health? I don't mean to complain, but at the same time, I do need to stay alive. I like how he retreats back into the Stompa, but we can, you know, like, deal a ton of damage to him here. Yeah, so we basically have to do the same thing. I mean, look, this is... It might not be the most inspired boss fight, because it is just kind of a variation of the Imperial Knight fight, basically. It's very similar. And those fucking cheeky shotgunners just, like, getting up my ass. They got, like, no respect for me, it looks like. Bro, like, come on now. I don't know what happened with the previous, like, you know, giant bomb that he threw out, because we just weren't able to kill it in time. I think we should be able to like, bring him down with this. Yup, killed him with a spear, no less. That's Beast-snagga goodness.
You know what, Ogruck? You was wrong, cause this looks snazzier on me.
He's got a point, though. It does look great on him.
Hang on a mo. It looks like this war is mine now. I'll call it War Teeth Grabber. Yeah. I likes the sound of that.
The end. Now it's time to listen to the end credits. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The last solo playthrough of this game, on my part. And what a banger this song is at the same time.
Out in the war, with nothing to do, not even a minute to tear up the crew. Looking for somewhere to get composted, we need something to fight, like we need grub to drink. Looking for work with some humans to crush, to bring Armageddon and grind them to dust. Hit 'em hard, hit 'em low, give 'em plenty of DAKKA. DAKKA.
Everyone involved with this game did such a good job, man. Like, literally everyone. The 2D artists, the programming is pretty solid. Like, the only thing we've encountered is, like, a few crashes. But this was actually pretty good, this playthrough, in that term, I guess. Or in that regard. I mean, we had, like, what, 2 or 3 crashes the whole time? And we didn't even have crashes with every single loading screen boss. We didn't encounter a single crash with the final boss. Nothing, I believe, with the Imperial Knight. So I gotta say, man, like, even the programming is not that bad, all things considered. And I mean, the rest of the game itself is I wouldn't say flawless, but it's really fucking good. Like, it's just really good. I like this game. I like this game a lot, in case you couldn't tell, but I think, you know, if you want to see what the various characters are like, you can always just, like, hit up all the fucking playthroughs I've done. They're all going over to the YouTube VOD archive that I have as well. So you can always, like, check them out, basically, if you want to taste, or if you want to see the whole game, obviously, then, you know, watching the stream basically gets you that. I do think that this is one of those games that, even though it is very shallow in that regard, and it feels wrong to phrase it that way, because I don't mean to say it like, oh, it's an awful game, but from a mechanical perspective, it's not exactly, like, super, super deep, but it doesn't have to be. It's just good, old-fashioned fun, and at the end of the day, I do think it's better to play this game than to watch it. So if you're any amount of interested in this title, I would urge you to just fucking buy it, play through it. It takes like 3, maybe 4 hours to go through the whole thing. You can basically do it in like a span of a week if you play like an hour or less than an hour each night. Or you can do what I do and just like stream your misadventures in the game. Or just sit down and have like a longer gaming session. And you'll go through it crazy fast, but it's a good experience. I mean, they absolutely nailed it. The music is great, the dialogue, the cutscenes are great. Graphically, it's got a style all of its own. It's just a cool game, dude. It's just a really cool game, as it turns out. And it's filled with, like, good 40K references. The thing is, I don't really feel like going on the whole online thing of it. I'm sure that it's fine, but like I said, like, I mostly just played this game for the story, the various characters. But we've basically done all of that. We've gotten all of the... Let's see if... Oh no, we only have 50, never mind. I was gonna say maybe we can, like, buy a hat or something. But turns out we don't have enough Teef. But yeah, man, I'm kinda just... You know, I had my fill of the game for the most part. And it was pretty good. It was pretty good, I would say. So how about instead of fooling around here, we go and hit up a friend of the channel that has actually been referenced here. I don't know if they're about to end or not, so, you know, let's make this quick, I suppose. It doesn't seem like it based on the preview. So we're gonna go hit up Big Pimp Gremlin, also known simply as Grem. And, yeah, I would say I'm a big fan of his stuff. He's an entertaining gentleman, for sure. Right now, he's kind of on a Minecraft kick, but I believe it is solo Minecraft right now, not Bounce SMP goodness. If only he was part of that whole thing, I feel like the whole thing would be better, in fact. But let's go over there. And in the meantime, I would like to thank you for tuning in and enjoying this game with me. I hope you had a good time. According to Steam, I have 11 and a half hours on the game right now. So, you know, for 4 playthroughs, that's not bad at all. And hey, let's go see what Grem is up to, and once again, thank you for tuning in. I hope you had a good time, and I will be back on a Friday, probably with Killing Floor 2, but we'll see. If you want to know exactly what's going to happen, then you can always hit up my Twitter, because I'll definitely announce it there. And either way, let's go!